All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome. So we got a lot to talk about today. I know I wasn't here over the weekend for the showcase, and I've been bombarded. People telling me the trailer was out, and asking me when I was going to cover it. So I'm sorry for the delay, but I have a good reason for not being here. But today, just to give you guys who are here an idea on what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be going into the trailer, and we'll watch it one time through for those of you guys who might not have seen it, but I'm pretty sure every one of you guys have seen it. We're going to watch the trailer one time through, and then we're going to break the trailer down. And I also, to the best of my abilities, kind of want to try to address some of the concerns that I've seen, because obviously I haven't been able to do this with you guys, but I've been spending the past few days kind of reading comments on, other videos and, where the concern points are for a lot of people when it comes to the trailer. And I'll be trying to iron some of those out for you guys the best I can. Obviously, if you guys don't know, I spent the weekend with Undead Labs, and they invited me over there for the showcase. It was an amazing time, guys. The team is phenomenal. I had such a good time with them, and to like meet and see some of these guys in real life, it was just it was a really, really good time. And Joe Swarner, by the way, guys, Joe Swarner is a monster. That dude's like 6'3", 6'4". He's way taller than me. Like, when I seen him, I was like, wow, dude, you are tall, bro. Like, Joe is actually tall. But yeah, I got to spend a lot of time with them. The team is awesome, guys. And they're over there hard at work. And just so you guys have, like, my impressions is I am beyond excited. All right, beyond excited. And I know some of you guys that have been following me for a really long time might have watched the trailer. I seen, even Camille was like, oh, I'm excited. All right, chat. I'm very, very excited. So let's start today off with watching the trailer one time through. Okay. And then we're going to stop. I'm going to address the elephant in the room right off the bat, and then we're going to slowly start breaking the trailer down. So if you guys want like a slow like a very fast pace just breakdown, don't watch this video, all right? Because we're going to be going very slow, meticulous. I'll be breaking it down kind of frame by frame. So if that's not what you're interested in, hey, I appreciate you for popping in and checking it out this far. But yeah, we're gonna be breaking this down pretty slow. There's a lot of details in this trailer that are very easily missed. My first time seeing the trailer, I didn't pick up on a lot of stuff, guys. And then when I had somebody kind of break it down for me, I was like, oh, okay, I see. You know what I mean? So hopefully I can clear some of that up for you guys today too. But again, I appreciate the love, the support, guys. Remember, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. There will be obviously lots of State of Decay stuff on this channel, as you guys know. And obviously when State of Decay 3 releases, we'll be playing the absolute heck out of it. So let's get started by watching the trailer one time through together. All right, let's do it, guys. You ready?
Who were you before? Who did you love? What did you believe? It's too late to ask now. We all knew the risks when we ventured out beyond the gates. But you helped us make something greater than the fear and death that surrounded us. We found hope in each other.
Help! I'm surrounded. They're everywhere. There's way more than I was expecting.
And even if we bought the other survivors just one more day, the sacrifice would be worth it. It would always be worth it. find the courage to keep going, to fight on. When we needed it the most. I didn't know you well. But we'll keep your memory alive. Every sacrifice we make matters and will never be forgotten.
And there it is.
No one is forgotten. We live on.
All right, so I wanted to watch that one time through for those of you guys who maybe haven't seen it. But like I said, when I first seen the trailer, I was like, "Oh, man, this is super dope." But it did. I was the same way. I was kind of like, I didn't really grasp everything that they intended. Now, there was an article that was put out by Xbox Wire. I have it linked in the description. So if the only information you're basing your current hype level, I guess you could say, for State of Decay 3 is off of this trailer and maybe the first one, there's more stuff out there. So right now they have released their Steam page, which has a little bit of information on it. But the Xbox Wire interview that was done has tons and tons of information on it. And it kind of, that when I seen that interview, kind of freed up some of the stuff that, I'm even going to discuss today, so we can get a little more in depth with, some of the stuff in the trailer here. I'm going to be, kind of going back and forth from, the trailer to that interview. But one of the main things we're going to start with is one of the big complaint points I've seen is people are like, well, where the hell's the gameplay? Where's the gameplay? Where's the gameplay? This wasn't a traditional gameplay trailer. I 100% agree with you. It wasn't. What they were trying to portray in this was, everybody knows, if you're a longtime State of Decay player, you know how State of Decay is you go out to do something simple, and then all of a sudden shit hits the fan and it turns into just a crazy situation. Now, what they were trying to portray is that you could tell by what, like, they were trying to show these people going together. We're going to get into like them being apart and stuff like that, but it was a typical day in State of Decay. There's multiple different ways trailers can be done, in my opinion, and they could do the whole, like 4 of them sitting there playing the game, chatting, or, they can make it more cinematic, which is the approach they took here, and it's very, very good looking. I appreciate the approach that they took with this trailer. It looks really, really good, but it is very easy to miss a lot of the things that they put in. And like I said, their Xbox article kind of really cleaned up and added a lot more context to the trailer itself. Now, one of the first things we're going to start with, guys, is the whole no gameplay thing. If we stop right here, and he says it's in-game footage and cinematics. So there are cinematics in here, but the cinematics aren't what you would consider like your traditional CGI cinematics. It's all done in-game with in-game assets. Now, I'll read off the exact words here, because if you look at a CGI trailer like World of Warcraft does them, Final Fantasy does them, a lot of games have those full-blown CGI trailers that are not gameplay at all. They're not even done in the game's engine. They are made outside a completely different system. And if I were to take a guess, the State of Decay 3 trailer, the first one we seen, was a CGI trailer, like 100% CGI. Had nothing to do with that. That's me speculating. I have no clue. But I would, if I were to take a guess, I would say that one was probably a CGI trailer. This was done in game with in-game assets. Okay, chat. So to listen to those words. In-game with in-game assets. So it was broken down here. I had it, and then I just freaking clicked off of it. So I had this all set up for you guys so it would be smooth for me to kind of do it. And then I freaking accidentally clicked off this when I was going, and I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, here it is. The trailer is a true reflection of what we'll play to. Okay. This is their words. Okay. This is their words. It's all in-game assets, all rendered from the game. All right. And it's a depiction of a typical scene that you would encounter in a 4-player co-op session. We wanted to give you a representative feel of what the game would be like, but also tell a story. Okay. So I want you guys to understand it is not a CGI trailer. Like the graphics and everything you're saying, if anything, they're not even as good as what the game might look like, because a lot of trailers are done pre-rendered. Now I have an example that I wanted for some of you guys who might not be clicking for you guys on what exactly we're referring to here. Is obviously most of us we've played State of Decay 2 for a very long time, and we all know what that game looks like. So, Chris, I want to say thank you, man, for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Welcome back home. Say hi to your family for me and keep up the excellent streaming videos. I appreciate you, Chris. I hope you're having a good day today, man. But so I want you guys to understand that, like, yes, it's not your traditional. It's not a gameplay trailer. I'm not saying, but it is all done in game. It's not CGI. Now, what I'm going to show you guys here is a small little comparison that I feel that some of you guys might appreciate. Okay, so here I have the State of Decay 2 trailer. Now we're just gonna run a little comparison. Now this is just for you guys to get what I mean by, now you're gonna see, because you've seen State of Decay 2, you know how the game works, you'll be able to recognize the same thing. So, wow, that's loud. Now you see how this is cinematic, but it's all done. This is what the game looks like. This is what State of Decay 2 looks like.
What would you do if the world you knew was gone? All the comforts, the simple pleasures you took for granted. How would you protect yourself and the ones you love when the protectors can't even save themselves?
The army's pulling out. Come on. last truck. Get in.
Want some of this? How about you?
How will you decide who belongs?
Thanks. I owe you.
How will you choose a place to call home?
Now, I'm just trying to prove a point or get a point across here with this. As you can see, this trailer is quote unquote a bit more, they're trying to be more cinematic with it, and it's all done in game, obviously. But when you see stuff like this, when you watch
What
this
risks
trailer,
will you take? What mistakes will you make? And the only family you've got is about to tear itself apart. Will you end a life?
Wait,
Or save it?
please.
This is our only one, but we need everybody we've got.
When you get in too deep and realize no one gets a second chance.
How will you find the strength to carry on? In this world of the living and the dead, how will you survive?
okay, so I feel like that's enough to kind of double down or try to give you guys what I'm covering. So if you guys watch that trailer, all right, it's all in game, you know what I mean? It's in game footage and some cinematics and stuff like that. So when you compare the two trailers, you know what I mean? The State of Decay 3 trailer, hands down, looks way better. You know what I mean? They went with a more cinematic approach because it doesn't look as stiff, you know what I mean, and bad as the State of Decay 2 trailer does when you watch it. But my point there was to just show you guys what I mean by in-game footage, or you know what I mean, or in-engine, like, because you know what State of Decay 2 looks like, and now you look at you know, and then you watch that video. Now I want you guys to just envision, okay, this is in-game footage from State of Decay 3, not just cinematic. So when you watch the or not in-game footage, but it's all in-game, you know what I mean? It's all rendered in-game. When you watch the trailer back, you'll have a much better appreciation for the visuals and the things you see. And like I said, a lot of these trailers, when they're done, it's all pre-rendered. It's before they put the final touches on a lot of these things. So it always expect it to look like State of Decay 2 when it released looked way better than that trailer, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was kind of one of the things, because people were like, oh, what the hell, like this is a CGI trailer. And it's like, no, it's not a CGI trailer. You missed that little tag in the beginning that kind of told you that it was all done in game. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew what it was, because that was one of the big complaints that I seen right off the bat. Yeah, so what they mean by cinematics is it's scripted scenes rendered in the exactly. That's exactly what it is, Flashy. But I wanted people to know that there's a big difference between a CGI trailer and a this trailer. So now what I want, guys, for you guys to understand too is while we're doing this, if you guys have any questions or, you know, ideas and things like that, when we get to the end, I'll be trying to answer as many questions as I can, but I also, drop comments and stuff like that, because trust me, the developers, they are listening, guys. They are working hard, and they listen. So if you guys are putting stuff out there, they're reading it. You know what I mean? So if you have questions, you have concerns, things like that, ask. And you know, all I got to say is just be patient. All right, just be patient. Because I know another thing is a lot of people keep asking about a release date. Like I said, I wanted to start this off by kind of tackling some of those big concerns, and one of them was a release date. People are like, "Well, what the hell? We haven't seen anything yet on a release date." And trust me, if there was a release date, guys, we would have got it. You know what I mean? So let them cook. That's all I got to say. Just let them cook. When the game's ready, it'll be ready, okay? Just let them cook. That's all I gotta say. Just be patient. Let them do their damn thing. They know what you guys want. They've heard us over the past years. Just let them cook, all right? The last thing they need is to feel pressured. You know what I mean? Because we all know what happens when game studios start getting all this outside pressure and they feel like, oh, we gotta hurry up, like, or we're gonna lose everybody. And then we're going to end up with subpar stuff, and that's what we don't want. So let them cook, chat, all right? Let them do their jobs. And the thing is I understand where a lot of us are coming from. I know, like, people wanting a release date isn't out of, you guys aren't asking these things or pressuring them out of malice. You guys love the game, and I understand it. You guys love the game. You guys are so excited. You want more. You're hungry, and I get it. You know what I mean? You want more, and the only reason why everybody's like, well, because you're excited, and I get it. But I just say, just relax, be patient, let them do their job. And just let's get excited, guys. All right, so we're going to take some time, guys, to break this down, like frame by frame. And we're going to I'm trying to give you guys a little insight on things that maybe you missed or things you didn't notice. And we'll kind of just chit chat back and forth together. Okay, guys? We'll kind of just chit chat back and forth together. And again, Chris with the super chat, man. Did you watch the Call of Duty Black? I watched the whole showcase. We'll get more into the showcase on another stream. I don't really want to talk about that right now, just because we got a lot of stuff we need to cover with State of Decay 3, and I know that's what mainly everybody's here for. But yes, I will take a second to say the Xbox showcase this year, they went out, dude. Oh my God, they went. There's so many games I'm looking forward to, but we'll get into that. We'll get to that at another time. All right. But let's start this out. So one of the first things that I wanted to kind of, we're gonna slow this down probably to like, well, let me turn up.
Who are you?
I'll turn the volume off because we won't need it for this part. I'll go 0.25. So some of the things here that I wanted to point out was, and like this scene, for instance, especially because it's done in game, you know, the fidelity of it is like, look at this zombie, guys. Like, I absolutely love the way the zombie looks. Now, I don't know why, but this scene, when I first seen it, like, tell me this shit doesn't hit for, like, I don't know why. It vibed The Last of Us for so hard. When I first seen the scene, I was like, it reminded me of that scene when Ellie walked up to that kid. I forgot his name. Henry? And he was like, he was turned away from her and he was like all zombie mode. But yeah, when I seen the scene, it was like, this is a really, really dope scene. But when you look at just the fidelity on the zombie, it looks really, really great. You know what I mean? Like, look at it. Like, it looks really good, chat. Especially for this to be in, like, you know, rendered in game. It looked good. It looked good. All right, let's let this go. Now, there's one thing I wanted to point out was there's a couple guns. So I want you guys to take note. I think I've seen 4 different guns in this trailer, so we can go ahead and, you know, kind of draw conclusions on those. But there's 4 different guns that I've picked up on, and one of them is this SMG style rifle looking thing on this guy's back. There's another scene later on in the trailer where you can get a really good look at the gun, but yeah, when you see here, you see there's like this SMG style rifle here, and his melee weapon looked more obviously handcrafted. We'll get more into like the maker community, because that interview really put information out there. It was so good. But yeah, you could see like the buttstock of this, the SMG there is a little, it's kind of like fashioned. It's not standard. But yeah, that was one of the weapons that I noticed. I think right here, yeah, right here is another angle where you can kind of see the SMG. And I was like, it looks pretty dope. But there's a few guns that we're going to point out. But yeah, we'll be actually able to see this gun in detail later on in the trailer. But I just kind of wanted to point it out right now. So he's going to sneak up on this guy. And just look at the character fidelity too. Like the clothing and stuff like that, the characters, the way they look, it's very clean. The zombie looks like Tom Howard. No, but yeah, and then I want to take a second here too to appreciate Undead Labs' new logo. So as you guys know, they used to have like the little like chemical thing, and this does look very clean, very clean. And they actually, I wish I had it on me. Hold on one sec, guys. Oh, God. Jeffrey, what's up, brother? How you? It does look like a cool game, doesn't it? But yeah, the lab, they got their new branding, and they actually hooked me up with a coin that has their new brand and logo on it. It's so sick, guys. It's so sick. So yeah, they're definitely changing up their brand, making it look. This looks very professional. Looks very good. I do really enjoy it. So let's get into this. So this is one of the things that obviously we're going to speculate a little bit on. But first thing, when this scene opens up, you can see, a very wooded area, but you can kind of see off in the distance this red glow here. I haven't seen too many people pointing this out, but this was one of the first things I noticed. And when I seen it, I was like, man, is that how they're going to do plague territory? Because the thing is, in State of Decay 2, when you were in like a quote unquote plague territory, you couldn't really see it from a distance. You know what I mean? And then you could only see a plague heart when you were right up on the building. You would kind of see that little cheesy little like plume, coming off the building, but you had to be right up on it. But you could not, like from a distance, see plague territory. So when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this scene right away, I'm like, oh shit, like you can clear as day see if you go over there, you're probably going to have a rough time. So I was like, man, if that's how they're going to kind of like portray like plague territory or whatever, like that would be really cool. So that was one of the first things I noticed. But right here, I'm playing this at like 0.25. This was pointed out to me. So as you could see, as the car is driving down the road, you see these little puddles on the ground, guys. You see it right here, kind of like it rained, and the water's kind of sitting on the road. And you see it here too, like as they're going, it looks like pooled up water. So obviously it's not raining in the trailer, so there's no way for us to truly know. But there's some water on the ground, guys. There's some water on the ground. You know what I mean? So I would take that as maybe it rained. Who knows? Maybe it rained before this guy started driving down the road. So I don't know, that's something that we got to, but that was something I seen on the ground. I was like, man, those puddles, they just generally don't just have random stagnant puddles on the ground for like ever. You know what I mean? Like, cause that would be kind of weird. You know what? Like, could you imagine? There's just perma puddles on the ground. You guys wanted weather, so we just gave you perma puddles. I highly doubt it, chat. Highly doubt it. But we'll have to see. That was one of the first things I noticed, though. Was that? Well, I didn't notice that first. This was pointed out to me. The first thing I noticed was that smoke plume. But I definitely wanted to point this out. The water on the ground here. Now, one of the things I keep seeing people when it comes to the map, and I will kind of zoom out a little bit here and kind of look at the area here. People keep bringing up the first trailer for State of Decay 2 and comparing it to the second trailer. Like, oh, well, we've seen snow in the first trailer and there's no snow in this trailer. Like, what's going on with that? And I don't fucking know, obviously. But if I were to try to draw a conclusion, we could speculate a little bit. Who's to say the first trailer just doesn't take place on another map or in another area or something like that? You know what I mean? So we don't know. Obviously, we don't know how that's going to work, but we'll just kind of have to see. But that's how I would take that, is maybe it's just on another map. You know what I mean? Maybe it's in a different area. Who knows? But the connection between the two trailers, I know there's a lot of people right now like, what the heck? There was snow in the first trailer and you're telling me the second one doesn't have it? And it's just like, maybe they want to just showcase two different areas. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? So, like, don't lose your minds, guys. Be patient. And we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Darth Vader with the 5 months, brother. Thank you so much. Perma Puddles trademark. There it is. Brad, how you doing, brother? It's so good to see you. And again, Jeffrey, I appreciate you guys popping in and hanging out. Now, the real reason why they're here, guys, is what you guys don't know is there's actually these guys standing on the side of me right now, and they have guns, really big guns. And that's why I'm kind of sweating a little bit. Yeah, guns, real ones. They're just out of frame. Help me. Help me. Nah, Dart, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate the 5 months, man. It means the world to me. And Ronan with the super chat. What happened to the Halo series? Not enough light. Yeah, we kind of just put off that to the side for now. But it's definitely a series I would like to revisit at some point. And Dark Corner with the 29 months, dude. Can't wait to play. Man, me and you both. Blink if I'm in distress. Nah, all right, so let's keep this going, guys. Let's keep this going. Now, first off, is when I seen this car, guys, I insta-cheesed because as you guys know, I absolutely loved the upgraded vehicles in State of Decay 2. Like, it was like one of my favorite things because just their appearance, they did, you know, they just looked so badass. Something like, you know, sitting there putting the armor on the windows. It was just really, really dope. So when I first seen this, I was like, yo, this is like apocalyptic vehicles to the max. And I was so happy that this was, because I was like, how are they going to do cars? How are they going to do cars? Is it going to be, you know, because obviously State of Decay 3 is going to take place, you know, further in the future. We don't obviously know how long, but from some of the things that we're going to see looking through this trailer, it does look like a decent bit of time has passed. Just by the way that the survivors look, by the way the scenery looks, like the gas stations like all collapsed down, so you can kind of see where there's been a lot of wear and tear on the environment, which takes time. You know what I mean? So we can kind of speculate that a good bit of time has passed in between just the second game and the third game. And when I seen this vehicle, I was like, oh my God, it is everything I wanted, because I was like, are we still going to be driving like shiny, like Rams down the road, or, you know, our little repair vans and things like that? Are we going to be driving these vehicles, you know, still somehow? And the fact that they, you know, they were like, no, you know, time has passed. These vehicles are going to look like time has passed and kind of like they're pieced together almost, you know what I mean? Like there's no more glass. The windshield's probably been broken 4 years ago by zombies being smashed by them, you know what I mean? So instead of having a windshield, they freaking took fencing wire, you know, like the amount of detail that is in this car. I can't wait to just sit there and like break down what these cars are made out of, because it is so creative, the things that they've done with just the little bit of the vehicles that you do get to see in this. And an easy run with the 11 months. Will I be playing a new Fable too? Of course. Of course. And just bored with the 7 months. This trailer made me smile. I can't wait for it. I'm in the same boat, man. I really can't wait. And Lady X, holy crap, that is absolutely huge. Thank you so much for the super chat. Congrats on your UL visit, Brian. So proud of you. My questions: will there be multiple difficulty levels? Red Talon / network, day-night changes, beautiful vistas like State of Decay 2, choices of bases, and SOD lore. So one of those things we could probably we'll get into. The rest of it, I have no clue. All really, really good questions. But one of those things I will be addressing, and I guess I could point it out here right now. Day-night changes. If you guys notice, pay attention to the time of day right now that the trailer starts at. Kind of looks like the sun's going down. You know what I mean? It's not nighttime, but sun's going down behind the mountains. And then if we skip forward to this scene, kind of seems like, let me speed this up, 2.5. Kind of seems like the sun went down and now it's nighttime. I don't know. That's what I'd pick up from here. So sun definitely looked like it was going down, and now it is definitely nighttime. So that scene right there, absolute epic. So I don't know. I would speculate. I don't think if the first game had a day-night cycle, the second game had a day-night cycle, I highly doubt that the third game wouldn't. You know what I mean? So yeah, if I were to draw a conclusion, I would definitely probably say it's safe to think that we'd probably still have a day-night cycle. All right, so let's go here. But yeah, so this was the first scene that we got of the car, and yeah, that looks like an inline 6, doesn't it? RB26 inline 6. Now here we go, chat. Now this is where things start to get interesting. Now there's a couple things I wanted to point out in this scene here. As you could see, the plague has where the blood plague in State of Decay 2. You kind of seen this in Heartland. Heartland is really the only part of State of Decay 2 where we kind of seen the plague growing out of control. And that was the plague wall scenario there in Marshall. And now it seems like this is just an everyday like gas station / like auto shop. And you can kind of see the overgrowth of plague that's kind of all over the place now. You know what I mean? It kind of looks like it's overgrown vehicles here. There's some stuff that we'll be able to see from this scene later on, but I kind of wanted to point out, but yeah, you can kind of see how the blood plague has spread and it's in the world and not just in Marshall anymore. I want to go to the other scene so we can look at this. Yeah, right here. And you can see it right here. So you got some like plague here. It's all coming out. It's spreading over the... Now, look at this van, chat. Now, class, where have we seen this van before? Five points and a gold star to somebody, the first person that says it. Scooby-Doo, it's not the Mystery Machine. Jesus. What do you mean I was the last one to drive it, dude? Destroyed outside my chat. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Because now you guys are just going to flame my driving and sit here and say I'm the one that freaking blew it. I didn't blow this van up, all right? I've never even been here, dude. No, it's the repair van from State of Decay 2. The actual, like if you look at the model chat, it's the same paint. So right here, the first thing I think is, continuity. You know what I mean? Like they're taking their, because State of Decay has done that very, very well from 1 to 2. A lot of the brands, like the Bronto Gas, Swine and Bovine, they take their brands very, very seriously. And it feels like a real world. So now, years and years have passed. This is a vehicle we drove in State of Decay 2. You know what I mean? And now to see it just a husk, you know what I mean? A husk sitting here covered in plague. It's the continuity. It feels really, really good. Now, when you look at the Rex in State of Decay 2, they don't mean anything to us because they're just husks of vehicles that, we never really drove. But to be able to see something like this and be like, man, I used to drive that van all over the place. It feels like, you know what I mean? It feels different. And I really, really like that touch. But as you guys can see here, there's a lot of that glow going on, which is so awesome looking. And there it is. Look at this bad boy. So what is this, chat? What is this? I seen that and I was like, what the hell is that? That's something new. It definitely does not look like a plague heart to me. No, I mean, I've seen a lot of plague hearts and that does not look like a plague heart. So I seen this and I'm like, yo, what the hell is that thing? It looks like some kind of like pustule or, you know what I mean? It's, I don't know. But yeah, I seen that and I was like, dude, what the hell is that thing? But it's got a nice little eerie glow to it, and it'll be interesting to see if these play into the gameplay at all, or if it's like something that you got to worry, if it's something that's gonna pop if you get too close to it, or whatever it may be. But it looks awesome. Yeah, so I seen that and I was like, what the hell is that? So as you could tell from this scene, I'm like, you could obviously tell that was not in the previous game. So Blood Plague seems like it's changed quite a bit. You see that also with the screamer later on, but it seems like it's continuing to evolve and change over time. So, but that looks really, really cool there, guys. It looks really, really cool. And I think you get another scene, but yeah, you look at this van, it's just completely engulfed in plague. And now, yeah, we'll keep looking at the scenery stuff first, because we're gonna get into this whole multiplayer, because the whole multiplayer part is a very big deal, and that was one of the big things that we're kind of pushing. But right now we're just kind of talking like environmental stuff. We see here's another vehicle husk, got a zombie under it. Now, did we see? Hold on. Yeah, so more water on the ground here. I didn't know if we seen water. So obviously more water on the ground here. And more water on the ground here. Okay, chat. So listen. Unless, because as you know, that car was in a different area. Okay, the car was in a different area than where this person is. Obviously, the car is coming back here. We know that from the trailer. We see water on the ground here. We've seen water on the ground out there. Okay, unless the map is just perma wet, which I doubt, I would definitely think that some kind of weather event must have happened here that made the ground wet. And then you look at right here, even outside of the gas station, it's all wet. Is all wet. It could just be real moist. That is fact, dude. It could just be real moist. Just moist. But I doubt it. That would be expensive. Could you imagine just having those nice reflections just all the time, all over the place? That'd be expensive. But no, I was like, yeah, there's water here on the ground too. It's moist. All right, so we come up now. Is the okay here? So here's another gun that gets that I can point out to you guys clearly too. Now this gun we get to see very, very clear. This is a shotgun. Obviously, you can see they got the heat sink on the top here. They got a little sight on it, and it definitely looks really nice. It's a nice looking shotgun. This one looks quite well put together, but yeah, you can see it's been altered in different ways. We don't know what ways all the guns are going to be able to, if they'll be able to be changed or not, but at least from this specific gun here, it looks nice and weathered and aged, and it goes along with the kind of the tone. Now, we did miss one more gun that I wanted to point out right. And this gun is very, very easily missed. This rifle here. Okay, so yeah, there it is. We get a kind of a peek at this rifle. Now you look higher capacity mag. That actually looks like a pretty decent sized magazine for this gun. But look at this buttstock, guys. That is not obviously a buttstock that came with that rifle at all. So you could kind of see where I want to give you guys the quote from this interview, because it was really, really good on how they explained the weapons. This might get you a little excited. I got to find it though. I had all this, like I said, I had all this highlighted and then I freaking lost it. So forgive me. I'm not a good streamer, chat. Okay, here we go. So this is how they explained like the changes. So speaking of ingredients, you can also expect to see survivors that have become quite adept at, well, not getting eaten by surviving several years into the apocalypse. So a lot of the people that we're going to be playing with now, it's from that sound like they're going to be quite experienced and quite used to the world, where, you know, State of Decay 1, a lot of the people were crying all the time. They were sad. They were scared in State of Decay 1. And then in State of Decay 2, you know, you would still have them talk a lot about the old days, and, you know, they all still seem to be affected by their old lives, whether they had, you know, they didn't like guns growing up as a kid, or they didn't like, there was a lot of traits that took a lot from their previous lives before the apocalypse. And with this, I don't know if we're going to be, it's going to be more now survivors that have been around for a while and now, you know, kind of have, they've accepted this is life. They've grown accustomed to it. And, you know, they're veterans. They're veterans at this, you know what I mean, chat? So it's going to be interesting to see how different the survivors are from like a personality standpoint compared to the previous games due to so much time passing. But they also say here, this in turn has evolved into a resourceful era where clothing, supplies, and weapons have been modified to accommodate their needs. Okay? Expect weapons to have mismatched barrels with heavily modified magazines, or clothing reinforced with armor plates. Okay? They've leveled up in this maker culture to be more eclectic. You gotta remember, I got that Marine Corps level education, chat, so forgive me. I don't even know what that word means. I'm pretty sure somebody in chat could is it eclectic? Is that how you say it? Educate me, chat. Okay, I said it right. All right, at least I didn't sound like an absolute idiot. But let's move on. Because the world of State of Decay 3 has been picked over, chat. Now, there's a couple things that are being pointed out here that absolutely just nail on the head. All right, so let me read that one more time. All right. This in turn has evolved into a resourceful era where clothing, supplies, and weapons have been modified to accommodate their needs. Expect weapons to have mismatched barrels with heavily modified magazines or clothing reinforced with armor plates. They've leveled up in this maker culture to be more eclectic because the world of State of Decay 3 has been picked over by now. And finding components to modify their existing weapons will be much more likely than looting a wholly formed one that's ready to go. One more time, chat. For the class, the guys in the back that might not have heard us. Picked over by now, and finding components to modify their existing weapons will be much more likely than looting a wholly formed one that's ready to go. Chat. There it is. Now, I'm just going to take this, obviously, as in State of Decay 1 and 2, you would go out and you would spend a lot of time looting guns. And that was it. You would find a gun. We would be able to, find attachments like muzzle brakes, things like that for the weapon. But this sounds more like now instead of looting the gun, we are going to be looting components. And I've always said this, in State of Decay 3, I hope they went with this approach towards the weapons because I love there being 200 guns. I really, really do. I love the idea of having tons and tons of weapons. But the idea I love more is having a very personalized weapon. A gun, like if I have a rifle that I can just switch out some stuff and change that rifle's main function, you know what I mean? Or its purpose, like being able to switch it from maybe long range to maybe shorter range to, you know what I mean? So the fact that they are kind of potentially taking this approach to going more after the components and customizing your weapons compared to finding whole weapons that just have different setups, because that's how it was. If you wanted an M4 with a long range sight, you had to loot an M4 with a long range sight. If you wanted an M4 with a close range sight, you had to loot or one with an extended mag, you had to loot it. But now it sounds like we're potentially going to be able to loot the components to kind of mix and match, make your weapon your own. And that would be really, really interesting to see if that's what they mean by this. I'm so excited to see where they're going to go with this, because in this case, less is more. You know what I mean? So that was one of the things I wanted to point out. So we have this rifle here. We've seen the shotgun when it comes to the guns. There's two other guns I kind of wanted to point out for you. So we already seen the shotgun, and I think you get another peek at the rifle here. Yeah. So look at this. So this is one of the scenes where a lot of people are like, is this gameplay? It would be safe to say this is the two scenes here would probably be pretty safe to say this is probably along the lines of what we're going to see, guys. Like when it comes to like that gameplay perspective, you know what I mean? That third person perspective. This is State of Decay. You know what I mean? Add a crosshair and a little bit of HUD elements. This looks phenomenal, chat. Looks phenomenal. And to kind of add on to it, you could tell by the way she reloads. Watch the reload animation. You could tell this isn't something that was, you see, it wasn't something that was super, super like drawn out and scripted. That looks like an actual reload animation. You know what I mean? So when I seen this, I was like, oh my God, that is gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like, this is gorgeous. It looks so good. And you could tell by the way the character moved. Watch the recoil. Watch the way her body moves when she shoots. You see how it went up? That's I mean, you guys have played video games. You know how it works. That's kind of how it works when you're in a third person perspective. The camera angle will kind of lift up on you. But this does look like HUD-less gameplay. It looks very, very good. Absolutely loved the dismemberment. Now, did I get it? There it is. So look at this. So she shot the zombie in the leg. Now, people are like, oh, State of Decay 2 had dismemberment too. It did. But if you guys know, dismembering things in State of Decay 2 is very, very inconsistent. Very, very inconsistent. I just wanted, before I forget, because I know we're supposed to be looking at guns. But if you looked closely, when she shot this, you can see a bone, chat. Look at this. Watch. And this was pointed out to me where you can see the skeleton of the zombie, and you could see the actual dismemberment plus the animation like it's so dope. But yeah, there's times where shooting zombies in the leg with shotguns would not shoot their legs off. Like, yes, it was very inconsistent. You can blast them in the legs sometimes, but then sometimes you'd shoot them in the legs and they would just fall over. They wouldn't. But this looked like a true dismemberment. And this right here, so dope. We were just talking about this the other day in State of Decay 1. State of Decay 1 has environmental kills. When you get close to a wall with a zombie and you kill it, your person will like smash their head up against the wall. They'll do different things. So seeing this, I'm like, environmental kills plus the eyeball popped out. That's absolutely sick. But yeah, that's just a couple of things that I noticed, chat. Potential environmental kills, again, would be so dope because we've been playing State of Decay 1, really, really enjoying that aspect of being able, because it feels good. It does really, really enhance the combat, in my opinion, being able to play off the environment. And that dismember system, it looks really, really good. That looks so cool. I'm excited to see how much it's going to be implemented, how far they're going to go with it, with the dismember system. Obviously, I'm not expecting like like Dead Island 2 levels of but it would be interesting to see what they're going to do. But yeah, so this is another look at that rifle from more of a player perspective, a third person perspective. And this is another one of those gameplay perspectives. It looks so good, chat. Like, look at the character fidelity. Look at the lighting. You know what I mean? It's gorgeous. That red glow from that plague, it looks so good. And look at this. It looks good, guys. This shit looks good. You look off in the distance, you know what I mean? You could see the screamer right there too. I don't know how many people didn't notice this screamer standing over here. I did. I noticed it. I seen him hiding over there because he ain't got arms, chat. He ain't got arms. So I seen the screamer over here and I'm like, why the hell is she over here shooting this? She failed, chat. She failed that other survivor because she could have shot that screamer right now. And she chose to shoot a random ass zombie. Hold on, look, wait. I didn't even know the screamer stand. Look at the screamer standing up. Hold on, chat. Earl. Yeah, it's Earl. Yeah, so you can see the screamer standing up here. He's like, yo, let me get up. And then he starts walking towards her. You can see him shambling towards her right there. All right, so this was another gun, this handgun here. Yep, so there's this handgun here. And then this is where we'll get a good look at this SMG from the beginning. This is what I was trying to look for you guys. Now, people said it was fire that he was spitting up, but when you look in the back of his throat, it definitely looks like a liquid, because if you remember, State of Decay 2 Plague Screamers, they will spit at you, but it's like it's like a plague fluid. So when I seen this and you watch it bubble up, but I don't know, because then you've seen the flakes and shit. Dude, please don't. It looks liquidy. So I'm like, yo, are they gonna, it has to be some kind of like liquidy substance. I highly doubt the screamers are gonna be spitting out fire, like actually, but yeah, more of like maybe like a lava-y plague substance. Yeah, she's dope. Yeah, so here's a good look at that SMG. So this is another weapon that we can see. What would you guys say that is? I would definitely say it's probably one of those handgun caliber level SMGs, because it's not, the mag's too small to be a AR frame or like an M4 frame. And then the way the buttstock's done, it definitely comes off as one of those like SMGs, right? But yeah, so it looks nice. I like it. I really do. But then you could see like the wrapping on the weapon. I wonder if that's what they're using to keep the guard on the bottom there, or the grip. But yeah, so I seen this and I was like, that's a nice SMG. And then this is where our buddy gets absolutely mauled and chewed on. Rip. Looks like the echo gun from Heartland. Yeah. Okay, so this is where we kind of get another look at the car. And one of the things they say about the car okay, so are you ready for this, guys? All right, listen to these words closely. We're putting tons of work into making sure what we put on the screen looks like it's ours, ownable, and belongs in our world. Everything tells a story, from the scratches and bite marks on the wooden stock of a gun. Here we go. You ready for this? To the way our beloved vehicles have been assembled. So the way that they have built these cars, now we can only speculate on, are the cars going to start off like this? Are they going to be something that we, have to build up over time? How are they going to approach that? You know what I mean? But from the way the vehicles are assembled, they think, struck a tone with people. It's got so pretty much they want everything to kind of feel like it belongs in the world and kind of doesn't there was a couple things they added in the State of Decay 2 that I know some people were like, why would they add this? It feels kind of like the birthday cake thing, and some people didn't like the pyro launcher. They thought there was like it was kind of out there. So it definitely seems like a lot of the things that they're going to be adding they want it to feel authentic to the world. Makes sense. Listen, guys, I'm not crashing no cars, chat. I'm not crashing no cars. But it would be cool to see the extent on, like what vehicles are going to be in State of Decay. As we all know, in the earlier games, the cars have always been plentiful and very, very easy to maintain, but it was early in the apocalypse. So it's going to be interesting to see if if maybe vehicles do become harder to come across. Maybe it's more work to keep a vehicle maintained. You know what I mean? Like, because that was one of my things. My if you guys know, when I've been talking about State of Decay 3 and like things I wanted to see the game push forward. I wanted it to feel, you know, them to hone in on some of their crafting systems that kind of gone under the table in the previous games, because why would you need to craft a gun? There was even something here, because I seen people talking about crossbows right here. This also means that players will be able to customize their play experience to greater depth than they have in the past. Hold on. Their play experience to a greater depth than they have in the past. Undead Labs believes that investing time to craft your crossbow. You ready, chat? Undead Labs believes that investing time to craft your crossbow versus finding a generic crossbow types is going to be a lot more fun and will help reinforce State of Decay 3's unique setting. So it seems like they are starting to kind of lean a bit more into that crafting side of things, which makes sense. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that was always one of my big gripes. They had an awesome crafted crossbow in State of Decay 2. A lot of you guys might not even have seen it before. You know what I mean? But they had crafted crossbows already that you could build in the game. But the thing is why would you ever craft one when you could just go out and loot one? Same thing with like weapons. Like, you never needed to craft any of that stuff because you would just go out and loot it. You know what I mean? So to see them really doubling down on the crafting system, because that's the one thing that's kind of been a little on the light side in the State of Decay universe so far compared to other survival games that lean really, really heavy into crafting, even when it comes to like melee weapons and things like that. You know, Dying Light, a lot of crafted melee weapons. Even in Days Gone, like a lot of the melee weapons, there's a lot of crafting that goes into that type of stuff. State of Decay had the system, like you could craft weapons, but it was never the forefront. Like, I highly doubt, let me see them W's in the chat if you ever went out of your way to build a, what the hell is it? A forge so you could craft melee weapons. You know what I mean? Most people never did, because why would you? You don't need to. You loot enough of them to where it doesn't matter. Now, people who, you know, understand that the forge can produce some pretty cool weapons, but a lot of people just tried it once, then never again. Then we got some people that have done it. I mean, I've done it personally. I've built it. But to see the direction change, that I so appreciate. It means so much to me, because that's what I personally wanted to see. I do feel like, as you know, it would feel weird for there to be such a huge time skip. Now let's look at environmental stuff right here, because we're talking about the time skip, and this is probably one of the greatest scenes to kind of showcase. Look at this gas station, guys. This is a Bronto gas station. Now, if you remember what they look like in State of Decay 2, like this thing is falling apart. Like, this place is falling apart. You look at the buildings over here, there's stuff peeling off them. They're falling apart. As you can see, the wear and tear on the vehicles. Time has passed. How much sense would it make for you to come into this Bronto gas station, pull 2 bags of food, you know, some meds, and just walk out there? You know, it really wouldn't. You know what I mean? How much sense would it make this far into the future to go into a gun store and pull out, you know, 3 brand new ARs and a brand new handgun? You know what I mean? So to sit here and be like, oh, you know, how it make, you know what I mean? Some people might be like, well, what the fuck, dude? I want to loot 40 ARs, but for it to make sense in the game, you know what I mean? They gotta do something. So I'm okay with the maker culture that they're aiming for in this. It's absolutely everything I wanted. And I feel like they're definitely taking a more realistic approach to this. They're honing it in. They have an idea on what they want the world to look like and feel like, and hopefully the loot matches. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Found ammo, exactly, Flashy. Like, do you guys think it's like this far in the future we're really going to be able to find bullets like that? Now we don't know. Now, obviously, ammo could get scarce, which would be amazing. I would love to see, like, because it's decayed so much, you know, you got to, I don't know if maybe we're gonna bust out a Walking Dead Eugene situation and actually have to, because in State of Decay 2 you could craft bullets, obviously. But a lot of the times you didn't have to, because you were constantly looting guns full of bullets. You were looting bullets. And the only time you would really craft bullets is like when you wanted to go super ham and you'd craft hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rounds of 5.56 and 7.62 from your press. So to see, it's going to be interesting to see how the economy is, I guess you could say, on like things like ammo, fuel, food, building materials, crafting materials. Like, are they going to change the direction of looting in general? Like, is there going to be a different approach? Like, because like I said, it wouldn't make much sense to be able to go in these places and still pull a whole lot of resources out of them. So I feel like the direction of looting might change. The things we're looting might change, but we'll kind of have to see. Scarcity equals hunting and fishing and farming. Hopefully we can actually... Oh, Macho, what's going on? No, like I said, it's definitely going to be interesting to see their approach on like the economy. How, if you can't go into a grocery store and loot bags of food, how will we get food? You know what I mean? So that is something I'm so excited, guys. So excited to see what their approach is going to be, how they're going to tackle that in this world. You know what I mean? I'm excited, chat. Yeah, you know, and then say there's, because we don't, obviously from the trailer, we don't know how their enclave system or if there is going to be an enclave system or working with other enclaves or survivors is going to work. But when they take things out of the world or they change the way the economy works in the world, building up relationships with other survivors and it is going to be more than important than ever. And you see that a lot in Lethal Zone, because obviously there's less loot in Lethal Zone. And that was one of my favorite aspects. And I know that's a lot of people's favorite aspects of State of Decay when you look at things like Lethal Zone, is they pull so much loot out the map that you do kind of have to start relying on outside things, trade partners, building up good relationships with enclaves, going out and looting or building your facilities up and manufacturing your own things. It feeds into that apocalyptic fantasy that a lot of us really love and enjoy. So for me personally, because the environment in State of Decay 3 seems so much different, so much more progressed into the apocalypse, I feel like this is their chance to really double down on that type of situation. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see. And I know that's apocalypse style might not be for everybody, but I feel a majority of people that play this will definitely appreciate and enjoy that. I always have the nap on lethal mode. That way, the real world conditions, and that's what I've seen a lot of people that really enjoy that mindset, that apocalyptic map, that feel of scarcity, because scarcity is where it's at. I mean, how many of you guys don't like scarcity? I guess that's my question. How many of you guys don't like scarcity? Like, you just want there to be tons of loot and guns. And I mean, I guarantee there's people out there that want that. 8 years in the apocalypse, they want to still go in a gun store and pull out 2 MG42s and 16 sniper rifles. I want all the loot. Oh man, the loot goblins, dude. The loot goblins. But what if you just get something else to loot? All right. There's still, so that's my mindset, because when it comes to scarcity, I feel like as long as we still have stuff to loot, but just different kinds of loot, the way we approach looting is different. You know, you're still going out, you're still going to be scavenging buildings, you know, potentially looking for resources and things like that, looking for components for your guns, looking for things like, you know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see if we have to craft ammo, how they would, like, are we going to have to like loot things to make, but I don't know. What's the process of making bullets, chat? We got to go ask Eugene. How many years are we talking? I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly. I don't know. It has to be quite a few for stuff to deteriorate like this. It's got to be a good amount of time. Probably well over 3 years, 4 years, probably even more than that. Like for stuff to start breaking down like this, it's got to be some time, chat. Parts and chemicals, looting like gunpowder, bullet casings, making the powder. That's the difficult part. There only seems to be plague freaks in the trailer. Any thoughts on that? So yeah, one of the scenes that we have, so we check out because the only two freaks we've seen so far, I believe, in this trailer is the Screamer, which is obviously plagued up in some fashion. And then when you go to the end here, the Juggernaut, which is, oh dude, he's fucking... is so sick. Now this bridge is another environmental thing that we could kind of touch on. This looked absolutely amazing, guys. Look at this, dude. Could you imagine driving down the road, chat, and running into this? First off, from my experience as a State of Decay player, I'm not just going to roll up on the, like, if I rolled up on this bridge, they do the exact opposite of what I would do. Because first things first, I'm not going to stop the car, okay, and get out. Bro, I know you don't got enough bullets for this. Get back in that car, turn your ass around and go back, dude. I'm not getting out. I would be turning around and either A, we'd be trying to back into that Juggernaut, or we're just going to find another way. Because first of all, this ain't happening, chat. If I see this bridge, it's not happening. I'm not going in there. There's a sign that says danger. I spent 13 years in the military. I'm very good at following instructions. So danger, keep out. You don't got to tell me twice, chat. I'm out, dude. But yeah, just the lighting, the environment. So it seems, at least from what I've noticed, chat, it seems like everywhere the plague is, it has that nice red, ominous glow. You've seen it over at the gas station. You've seen it over here. So I don't know if this is going to be maybe their new approach on plague hearts. Like any area that has plague hearts in it are going to kind of be like this, like overgrown with the you know, the plague substance, because it seems like everywhere, and you can kind of see another one of those glowing pustules over here behind the sign. But it does. It looks like it's taking over the area. So I don't know if this is just how like plague heart areas are going to be, or if it's like, or what, but this shit looks freaking awesome. Awesome. But yeah, then they get out of the car, which is absolute foolishness. But now we have to kind of build a little. Well, first let's look at this Juggernaut. Oh my god, dude, monster. Yeah, I would be getting back in the car. Don't, your little handgun and your machete aren't going to help in that case. So yeah, get back in your car and go away. But the one thing about this, guys, when I seen these, And I'm thinking, if this is Plague Hearts, is this going to be like a scripted? Because there's a couple different ways they can go with this. Flag with the super chat, but I appreciate you, man. They were trying to reach the Juggy about his extended warranty. Dude, I would have just let it slide, bro. Now, there's a couple different ways that they could approach this. Now, is this going to be kind of like Heartland, where certain parts of the map were just designated plague? You know what I mean? Certain parts of the map were designated plague, and you would go there and it would have this appearance. Or is this going to be something that's organic and that can change from area to area? We don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see whether A, the map's going to be fixed and there's going to be just really nasty areas of the map. You know what I mean? Or is this something that could just pop up all over the place? Is this something like, you know, you could drive down this bridge and there not be anything here, or you drive down this bridge and then there is something here, or are you going to drive down this bridge and it's always going to have this? You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see. Because in State of Decay 2, Plague Hearts they had certain buildings they could spawn in. You know what I mean? But they were random at times. They were in different areas. If this is a Plague Heart, it's going to be interesting to see if it's something that moves around, or if it's something that's static, or if this is, and we clear this area, does all this go away? Does it stay for, you know what I mean? So we kind of got to just sit here and think, like where this could go, chat, because it could be absolutely epic. And I know a lot of people have been asking for a system like that since State of Decay 2. People are like, oh, you know, I want to see infestations start off and then get worse over time, and then like infestations turning into Plague Hearts. That's one of the big, I know there's some of you guys in chat. How many of you guys in chat have recommended that? Because I've seen a lot of you guys say that you wanted infestations to kind of like grow and get worse over time. Okay, yeah. So I know there's a lot of people that want to see like parts of the map, you know, kind of progressively just get worse and worse and worse over time. So yeah, so it's one of those things we kind of just got to speculate how they're going to handle this situation. And like I said, I got nothing but faith in these guys to make this an amazing experience. But yeah, let me see. Do we see anything else here? Like I said, you do get to see that little pustule. Look at that. Look at that. It's so good. It's so good. Get back in the car though. All right. So there was a couple. Somebody asked earlier, will there be crossbows in the game? According to this article, you will be able to craft a crossbow from this article that we read. So yes, there will still be crossbows. And as you guys know, when it comes to surviving in a world like this, crafting bolts is probably cheaper and easier than crafting bullets. You know what I mean? So I could potentially seeing there be especially when you start the game early on and you're really low on resources and you're kind of trying to build up, you're probably going to have to lean more into that crossbow gameplay. Some people might not like your but it's just kind of the progression of these apocalyptic games is, you know, the bullets and the guns are kind of something you have to work up to, and you're going to start off using a lot of melee and having to rely more on crafted like crossbows and things like that. You probably will be able to get your hands on guns, but if so, they're probably going to be limited. Thanks, bud. The guns are probably going to be limited. The ammo is probably going to be quite limited, so you're going to probably have to rely a bit on crossbows and melee weapons and things like that, which I'm perfectly fine with because I like to earn mine. You know what I mean? Andre Perry, thank you so much for the super chat. It is official. Netflix bought the rights to Days Gone. No, they didn't. BS. To make the game or to make a show? Andre, I could actually fight you right now. Hurt my damn feelings, bro. And then here at the end, you know, because the whole story. Now, one of the things we're going to talk about, this is actually one of the big things, and I can't believe I haven't talked about it yet, is multiplayer. One of the biggest things that was pointed out in this trailer that a lot of people, I think, missed was the multiplayer aspect that was brought to this. Now, the reason why I say I know a lot of people missed it was because I absolutely missed it the first time watching this. Had no idea what was going on. So let me see here. I want to find it because I want to give you their verbiage. Okay, so this is quote. The first thing that I hope people pick up on from the trailer is that there are 4 player characters we're highlighting. Okay? 4 player characters we're highlighting. 3 of them start in different places in the world. So we're implying this idea of a shared world experience, not just a ride along, and that the boundaries in which you can go off independently are going to be much, much greater than they were in State of Decay 2. So if you go to the Steam page, guys, and you read the Steam page, which I have up for you guys right here, with online multiplayer for up to 4 players, start a community together from scratch with your friends in a shared, persistent world. You'll be able to build, develop, and expand a base that reflects your designs and choices. Start a community together from scratch with friends in a shared, persistent world. Now, the shared world philosophy comes from Undead Labs has been collaborating with Obsidian Entertainment on the shared world feature, enabling more flexible online co-op. The acclaimed Grounded released with Undead Labs' shared save technology, and State of Decay 3 will build on that to deliver a truly open co-op world owned by multiple players. You ready for this, chat? A truly open co-op world owned by multiple players. Now, if you guys have played Grounded, you will understand why this is such a big deal. Because how it works is, for those of you guys that play multiplayer, right now when you want to play State of Decay 2, I have to boot up my world, invite you in, you kind of come into my world as like a piggyback, and then you're just there kind of doing what I want to do, and that's it. The tether is very, very small, so we kind of got to work together, but there's no independence. It's not your world, it's mine. You know what I mean? And you're kind of just there as they put a ride along. Okay? Now, when this comes to the reason why this is so epic is in Grounded, what happens is you start a world together and it persists. So even if, like, say me, Max, Lady X, and Flashy start a world together. All right, it's us 4, and we're doing stuff. I log off. They can keep playing and building stuff up and doing stuff with characters. They log off. I log on, and the world keeps going. It's persistent almost. You know what I mean? Now, granted, it's not like an MMO or anything like that, but the whole MMO stuff is shenanigans. I don't like that idea. Anyways, I love this idea, guys. So for those of you guys that really, truly enjoy that shared experience with your friends, you're really going to be able to share this experience with friends. So Ark, I guess, would be the best way to kind of put this one. Yeah, like Ark. So how you and your clan work together, you build up bases. People go out, hey, I'm gonna go out and tame these dinos. Well, you go out and gather metal and stuff like that. And you all don't have to be online at the same time. You could log in at different times, play at different times, exactly like that. So that would be how this works, is it's a persistent online world. If you guys want to see play Grounded, and you'll understand exactly how the shared world works. It's phenomenal tech, guys. It's phenomenal technology. I believe it runs off of dedicated servers too, so it's not like peer-to-peer, because peer-to-peer would require people to be. So it's going to require some kind of dedicated server design. But yeah, it's legit, guys. Yeah, so I'm committing robbing people's. So you're not just getting, now the thing is you're not just gonna be able to log into random people's maps and just steal their shit. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some kind of, like, you know, it has to be friends, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to, like, that they have to be there at the start. Now, obviously, if your friend robs you, your friend robs you. Like, you know what I mean? Make sure you're careful who you play with. But it's going to be interesting to see how this works. Are people going to have their own characters to play with? Are we going to be able to share survivors? You know what I mean? The extent on which this can go, guys, is so big. But this was one of the selling points, one of the big things they were trying to push in this trailer, that I know a lot of people overlooked. And like I said, I overlooked it initially. I didn't notice it until it was pointed out to me. These survivors, let's watch this. So I'm gonna have the sound on. I'm gonna let this play, and I want you guys to kind of watch this with that in mind, of this being a multiplayer scenario, because 4-player characters in different areas, and then listen to the radio audio, okay, and then see how they all react, how they all come together. And I'll point out, I gotta get the speed back.
Who did you love? What did you believe?
So we'll draw conclusions here. Plagued area. Okay, so you could guys see this guy is pretty far away from that plagued area. This is one player. We also had the other player here in a different area. This guy's in a car going off, doing something completely different.
We all knew the risks when we ventured out beyond the gates.
Now she's here. I believe that other guy has some. So she's here in the situation. I believe she's the one that puts out the call for help.
But you helped us make something greater than the fear and death that surrounded us. We found hope.
Yep. So, and then there's these two together. So you got 2 people here together. You got the one at the mechanic shop, and then the one in a car. All right. So the players they're all spread apart. And then they get the radio call here.
Help! I'm surrounded. They're everywhere. There's way more than I was expecting.
And even if we bought the other survivors just one more day, the sacrifice would be worth it.
And now they all kind of come together.
It would always be worth it.
And you could still see her up on the car shooting down, you know what I mean?
And that helped us find the courage to keep going.
That's a lot of zombies, though.
To fight on. When we needed it the most.
And then one of your boys go down.
I didn't know you well. But we'll keep your memory
QRF
alive.
comes in.
Every sacrifice we make matters. forgotten.
So that's one of the big things that a lot of people didn't notice was the multiplayer element that was, you know, showcased here. But yeah, that shared world experience, guys, that's going to be epic. And the way this is set up, I was thinking that when this game does release, I'll probably have 2 playthroughs. And I was thinking about doing maybe as I go through doing multiplayer and allowing some viewers to come in and share a world. And I'll probably depending on, I don't know if there'll be saves. We don't know how it's going to work, but I would like to do stuff with the community with this tech, because it does sound super, super awesome. Kind of showcase a little bit of multiplayer. So if that is something you guys are interested in, we'll definitely be trying to do that later on down the road too, when the game does release. Lady X with the super chat. Put SOD3 in your Steam wish. I know I need to add it. It needs to add it. Flashy on base building. What can you say? Is it the same as SOD2 or more pieces like grounded? Honestly, Flashy, I don't know. I don't know. Flag with the super chat, hoping for Game Pass day 1 release. Of course, dude. They already said that. Yeah, day 1 Game Pass, man. Day 1 Game Pass. I think Microsoft vowed that all their first party or all their studios would be day 1 Game Pass. Is the game have a story, or is it just it's yeah, I mean, State of Decay has always been a single player experience with multiplayer functionality. Well, the first one didn't. The first one was just, but yeah, I mean, I don't, the game will never, I don't think they would ever just make the game multiplayer only. That wouldn't make any sense. You know what I mean? They would absolutely upset tons and tons of people. Like, a lot of people play this game solo, but then there's also a lot of people that play the game single player or multiplayer. Now the thing is I could see why they would want to hone in on the multiplayer element, because the single player element in State of Decay is very cut and dry, very, very straightforward. You know what I mean? Kind of hard to mess up. But the multiplayer element of State of Decay 2, which was a very, very hyped thing, was very, very lackluster. A lot of people did not enjoy it. So for them to kind of double down and make the multiplayer experience something that players can really enjoy, that's I believe the most important thing. Because yeah, the single player, that's easy. You know what I mean? To build the game for one person to play, but kind of honing in and making it feel good multiplayer, that is a super big challenge for any game studio, because it's balance and stuff like that is trying to figure that out is definitely not easy. Army Cat with the gifted membership. Thank you. So whoever receives that, welcome to the fam. We got the wifey with the 47 months. Skibbity toilet Rizzler Sigma dude. What does that even mean? An unbearded veteran with the 37 months, man. What do you think of the screamer breathing fire? So I brought it up. I don't think it's fire. Unbearded, I think it's more like a plague substance, some kind of like, it could be like some kind of, they said molten lungs. But when you see it gurgling up in the back of its throat, it definitely looked like some kind of liquid that it would spit at us, kind of like in State of Decay 2. But as you guys noticed, the plague theme in this is that kind of glowing yellow color. So if you look at where was it? That pustule. Here, you see that glowing color in there? It's the same glow that the screamer had. You know what I mean? So I just feel like whatever this mutation the blood plague has taken has also affected the screamers, and that glow, that the stuff that the screamers spit out in State of Decay 2 is probably just changed into something that resembles more of whatever the blood plague is doing now. Yeah, so that would be my take on it. I have no clue, but that's just by looking at the way the blood plague kind of looks. But I would definitely say it's probably some kind of stuff he's going to spit out. I highly doubt he's going to be just like blowing dragon fire breaths. I don't see that. But I mean, if he does, well, goddamn. Okay. I think we're gonna get seasons, snow. I don't know how JJ. So there's multiple different ways they could approach weather in this game. As we've already pointed out, we've seen rain. Now whether it's going to be seasons, we don't know, because for there to be seasons means there has to be some kind of like passage of time system, and that could be like how that is whether us as players can choose like, oh, you know, how long we want seasons to be or whatnot, or if there's going to be like biomes, because I think that like you can have seasons or you can have biomes, and I guess however they approach, like which way they want to go with that. I personally prefer biomes over seasons, because if you want to see some snow, you can kind of go see some snow. If you want to see some, you know what I mean? Like you can kind of travel around and get but seasons, you know, you're kind of waiting, you know what I mean? But there's that. I feel like those are the two different ways that they probably could approach weather. Is either they'll have different biomes, or different maps completely. It depends on how they want to approach it. So yeah, it kind of all just kind of depends on how they want to approach. But we've seen in the first trailer that there was tons of snow. So either that could be a completely separate map, or B, it could be a completely separate biome of the map. You know what I mean? Because the one thing we haven't heard or we haven't seen yet is how are they even doing the maps in this game? Is there going to be multiple maps like the first, or like State of Decay 2? Are we going to have different regions we can go into, or is it going to be like State of Decay 1 where it's just one map, or is it going to be one really big map? You know what I mean? We don't really know yet how they're going to approach that, but either way, I'm fine with either. I think I personally think I would probably prefer like a biome scenario more, because games that do biomes well, like you look at Days Gone, like Days Gone had weather, you know what I mean, but it had different biomes, you know what I mean. You could go, what was it? You go down south, and then you would start getting into all the snow and stuff like that, and where you would go up north and get more dry over near like the little slaver camp or whatever. But yeah, it kind of all just depends. You got the photos. What photos? Ghost Recon Wildlands. Exactly. So Wildlands was another perfect example of like a bigger map, you know, that had different weather in different parts. Red Dead Redemption 2 had biomes, you know what I mean? Like you go all the way north and it's really, really snowy and cold, and you would get snow where you would go down south and it'd be a little bit warmer. You'd get rain. So it kind of just depends on the team. Oh, you got, okay. So they sent the pictures. Oh, gotcha. So it all just depends on their approach. But like I said, I trust the team, guys. Just listen to me say, I trust the team. They've done a phenomenal job with State of Decay 2. They're listening. They know what you guys want. They hear you. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people keep asking, release date. Let them cook. That is let them do their thing. When the game is ready, they're gonna release it, guys. When they know that the product is how they want it to be, they're gonna say, hey guys, boom, this is when the game's coming out. Let them work. Let them work, because the last thing you guys want is them to rush it. Okay? The last thing you want them doing is rushing, feeling pressured. Just let them take their time and make this into the game we want it to be, because if they rush it, the game's going to come out. It's going to feel rushed. It's not going to be what you guys want. People are going to bitch and complain and stop playing the game. If the game doesn't sell well, if it doesn't do well, then the studio's not going to be able to sustain upkeeping the game, State of Decay goes away. You know what I mean? So let them take their time, make the game how we want it. So, you know what I mean? That way we can enjoy the game, love it right off the bat, and let them do the same thing they did with State of Decay 2. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be DLCs, and you know what I mean? Let them do their thing. But if they rush it, if they feel the pressure because their audience is like flipping the fuck out because there's no release dates, and we just want the game now, we want the game now, let them cook, chat. Let them do their thing. And just they haven't let us down. You know what I mean? They absolutely, what they did with State of Decay 2 was amazing. All right. They've built trust with the community. And it's like recently I feel like people have gotten so impatient that they almost forget the trust. You know what I mean? Like, I trust that dev team to make good decisions. They've done it. They listen to us. We say we want something to change, or, you know, we like this or like that, and the ideas, and they always do it. They always hold up their end of the deal. They always release something that's enjoyable and fun. You know what I mean? So just let them do their thing. So that's my whole take on the release date thing. I said it once in the beginning. I'm going to say it again now. Just be patient and let them do their damn thing. All right? Just let them do their thing. And now I get it. You know, you guys are impatient. You're excited. You want something now. I'm right there with you. You know what I mean? MF, there's in the gaming industry, man, there's no such thing as overcooking anything, dude. There's no such thing as overcooking anything. You can't burn a game, man. It's one of those things. The longer, it's like a painting. It just gets better and better. It's like wine. It gets better and better with time, chat. Yeah, you don't. You can only rush a video game. You know what I mean? You can only rush a video game. Lady X with another super chat. Thank you so much. So when will you tell us about your visit? Like the people, the office, the city, did you tour? So yeah, I could talk about that a little bit. Obviously, there's tons of things I can't talk about, but the visit to Undead Labs was phenomenal. They brought us out there. We got to hang out with them, not just in the like the office, like outside of the office. Like I got to spend time with them as people and like, you know, hang out and have dinner and talk and just kind of shoot the shit. And it was awesome, guys. It was awesome. Like I got to meet like a lot of the guys you see on stream, you know, like I got to meet Wonder, Jeffrey, Brant. Me and Brant actually, the first meeting, the first person I seen was Brant. I was actually getting into the elevator to go meet up for dinner, and I get in the elevator. I'm standing there, and all of a sudden the elevator goes down, and then the doors open, and then boom, fucking Brant Fitzgerald standing right there in front of me. And I was just like, holy shit, dude, what's up, man? So it was really, really awesome, you know, to kind of hang out with those guys. They showed us around Seattle, just around like the town. It was a really, really good fun. You know, we got to hang out with like Heather, Wonder, like they're just such great people. Joe, I got to meet Joe. I got to meet Odo. As you guys know, the Odo Houtzer in State of Decay 2 is named after Joe Swarner's dog. So I got to meet Odo. Beautiful, beautiful, like greyhound, just awesome looking dog. But it was a really, really great time. And yeah, I appreciate them so much more than they probably even know for having me there. It was a phenomenal time. Oh, Macho, dude, seriously, thank you so much for the super chat, dude. Top 3 games go Last of Us, SOD, probably not. So my top 3 games of all time would probably be Red Dead Redemption 2, The Last of Us, and I have a hard time picking 3, like my third game, because it's between stuff like Cyberpunk, Death Stranding, so good. I don't know, maybe I'd put Cyberpunk as my third. Like Jimmy says, I'm in no hurry. SOD 2 is a buggy mess. Take your time, do it right. And that's what I feel like the community and the State of Decay community is pretty good, guys. The State of Decay, the actual like hardcore State of Decay community, I feel is pretty good. It's because State of Decay 3 is going to be a much bigger game scope wise and audience wise. Like this game's going to go and it's going to start reaching out to more mainstream. You know what I mean? So it's going to bring a lot more people in that aren't necessarily a part of the State of Decay community that exists now. You know what I mean? So this game's going to definitely open the doors up to a lot more people that might not know and trust and understand who Undead is as a studio. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like that's our job too, as people who have a lot of experience with the team, know and understand the team, to kind of speak for them too and be like, hey guys, relax. Like they got it. You know what I mean? Like they got it. Just chill out, be patient, and you know, enjoy it when it comes out. You know what I mean? But I feel like because the game is starting to open up to such a wider audience, we are going to get a lot of people that are coming in for the first time, don't know nothing about Undead Labs. They just seen State of Decay 3. They've never even played the other games. And it was like, when's how the game's coming out? When's the game coming out, dude? Where's the release date? You know what I mean? Like, and then obviously we got some people that in the community that are just too excited and impatient, and you know they just want a release date now. But it's like, dude, it's ready when it's ready. You know what I mean? Cake Face with the 27 months. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I will be doing Wolves. I will be checking out the other trailers for like Star Wars. I was thinking about maybe doing another stream at some point, kind of we're gonna watch the other trailers for some of the games that came out in the showcase and the Ubisoft Forward and stuff like that. I didn't go to no aquarium, no. Army gal, no. I would never, what? I've never shot a dog. What? What did the devs ask me? I mean, nothing in particular. You know what I mean? We just talked about all types of shit, Lady X. You know what I mean? We're just kind of, we just talked about life and all types of stuff. You know what I mean? It was an amazing time. It really was an amazing time. And what you guys need to do is go over to their socials and thank them for me too. Like I would love for my community to go and show them some love. So if it's on their YouTube videos, on their YouTube channels, or on their Twitters or TikToks or whatever it may be, definitely go and show them love, because they obviously they didn't have to do that for me, and the fact that they did was just amazing, and I really do appreciate the support they showed me. So, me in my position, I'm going to try to do the best I can to kind of reciprocate that love and support back. So, if you guys do want to go and show them some love for me, right now their trailer video for State of Decay 3 is doing phenomenal. And, they got 13,000 likes. Make sure you guys go over there, smash the like button, subscribe to their channel too, because I'm pretty sure when they start putting out information for State of Decay 3, it's going to be coming through their official channels before anybody gets it. You know what I mean? So make sure you guys are following them. If you guys want that, that first-hand information, it's definitely going to be coming from the wolf's mouth. So make sure you guys are following them for when they do start releasing information and updates and stuff like that. Lash Media with a huge super chat. Seriously, thank you so much, dude. Man, you guys are insane, dude. I do appreciate the love. I know it's been so many days since I've streamed. And Macho with the 4 months, top 3 zombie games. Days Gone. So my top 3 zombie games, I'd probably put State of Decay, Days Gone. Oh, no. I'd probably put, Last of Us, State of Decay, and Days Gone. How did I like Washington? Well, I mean, when I was there, guys, it was really, really good weather. The weather was extremely nice. I've played Days Gone. Yeah, on the channel too. So if you guys haven't seen my Days Gone playlist, definitely go check it out. Make sure you watch the PC one because that was my more fleshed out version. What are my thoughts on? I mean, I don't like I said, Max, my thoughts on a release date, man, is I'm a very patient person. So like my like, it's not like I don't have other games I can play in the meantime. And I you know what I mean? I'm just whenever it's ready, dude. Like I obviously the sooner the better. I would love the game to be out fucking tomorrow, obviously. But the fact I understand, you know, that the game, you know what I mean? It takes time. A game development takes time. So I would rather them just take their time, make the game that we all want and love, and release it when it's ready. Devilish, I'm doing good. How you doing? So I want to open this up to you guys. While I'm scanning this, is there any questions that you guys have about the trailer? Obviously, I'll try my best to answer any questions that you guys have. And if you're watching this afterward too, make sure you guys drop some questions down in the comments. Okay, so this was another thing that they pointed out. We're heavily emphasizing engaging co-op combat, taking a close look at our level design and approach to how we're building the world to ensure that players can have a blast smashing and shooting zombies together out in the open world. To support that effort, combat needs to be downright fun. We're looking at deepening our combat systems, our designs for enemy behaviors, and our animation fidelity to level up the moment-to-moment experience across the board. So we talked about it before with State of Decay 1 to 2. Some people say that, you know, well, we've seen it firsthand. The combat system in State of Decay 1 had more depth to it, where the State of Decay 2 combat, where it's more fluid and cleaner, it's more dumbed down. It's not as deep or engaging as the State of Decay 1 combat, even though I do have more fun with State of Decay 2's combat. Seeing them, you know, notice and be like, hey, you know, we're going to be adding more depth to the combat system is very, very good news. Very, very good news. What am I playing today? I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be covering today. Do I like over the shoulder camera? Third person is my favorite camera style, DVS or DSV over first person. I prefer third person. State of Decay has always been a third person action shooter, and I would hate the fact if they changed that. I like, it's like The Last of Us, like all those Days Gone, all those are third person games, and I prefer the camera angle, third person. Do we think, or is there a mention of crafting being more? Oh yeah, Macho. I mean, everything about the way the world is, crafting is the forefront of the new world. They expressed in this that, like, that's one of the things they really went pretty deep in explaining is these survivors are now like, it's a maker community. They're not relying on going out and finding things anymore. They're making almost everything. So yeah, it all just kind of depends. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the crafting system's going to be really in depth compared to the previous games, just due to the fact that the the time, you know, that's passed, the world, the scarcity of resources, it's going to probably rely heavily on crafting. Not being an SOD player, why should I start playing this particular series? So Lucky Duck, there is no other game like it in the zombie like survival genre space. There is no other game that is like State of Decay, because I get asked that question for people who played SOD for a really long time. Hey man, what's another game like State of Decay that I can play? There isn't. It's very unique in its own way. And even some of the games that it gets compared to like are not even in the same wheelhouse as State of Decay 2. They're just completely different games. So if you want a more survival simulation community experience, like that's what you're going to get out of State of Decay with permadeath. Like no other game has a permadeath system like State of Decay. Like there's games that have permadeath, but it doesn't hit the same as State of Decay. So yeah, it's it does what it does well, and there's no other games like it. Did you see or play the in-house current build of State of Decay 3? No, I did. Yeah, it's not something I'd be able to. Even if I did, I wouldn't be able to talk about it, but no. Did I watched the showcase with them? Yes, Lady X. The trailer showed nothing new gameplay-wise. You had to get information behind the trailer through an interview. If it was a voiceover trailer, explain. Yeah. So a lot of the information, Camille, is you do get it from, because that was my first thing. When I first seen the trailer, I didn't really pick up on a whole lot. But once it was explained to me and it was kind of broken down, I was like, oh, there is a lot more in this trailer than what you would first get at first glance. So once you do, like, if you guys haven't, it's linked in the description. Go read through the Wire interview. The whole thing is a very, very good interview. And it does give you a good understanding of kind of like their mindset and direction that they want to go with the game. And then watch the trailer again, and you'll have a whole different outlook and appreciation for what you've seen. Because a lot of guys are just kind of going off of what they're seeing just based off the trailer. And they're like, oh, what the fuck is this? Like, they didn't even show anything. And it's like granted, like, yes, this isn't a fully in-depth gameplay trailer. But it's a trailer. You know what I mean? It's something. And that's what I told you guys in the beginning of the year is all I wanted to see the direction that they were going with the game, because it was so long since we heard or seen anything. And then the first trailer they came out with was so vague. There really was no direction. There was no idea of what the game could even look like or feel like, or, you know, was there going to even be Blood Plague? There were so many questions in the air. And then they gave us something. They gave us something that we can look at. Okay, this is the environments, you know, we can kind of see what the environments, we can kind of see what the zombies look like. We can see that, you know, Blood Plague's still around. We can see, you know, the multiplayer stuff. We can see the map. We can see, you know, there's so many things that we can take that gives us, okay, you know, I got a little hit. Obviously we want more, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more, but this is the start. You know what I mean? We finally got something. And now we just got to be patient. And when they are ready to give us more, they're going to give us more, guys. You know what I mean? This isn't it. You know what I mean? It's not like they're going to just be like, oh, here you go. And yeah, we'll just ride out this trailer until, like, no, we're going to get more. You know what I mean? I'm pretty, they did it with State of Decay 2. There's multiple trailers. And they do their live streams over on their channels where they, you know, they'll go in depth and start talking about some of the systems that they're working on or some of the systems that are going to be in the game. They break it down themselves. That's what they did with the previous game. So just be patient, and you're going to get more. We're going to get more. You know what I mean? Macho, thank you for the gifted, but I do appreciate that. First person is way more realistic. I'd say perspective is subjective. I don't mind first person when I'm playing like RPGs and stuff where I'm role playing as the character. But I feel like when you're not role playing as the character, like State of Decay, you're not role playing as so and so. You're kind of like the overseer, and you're kind of running. So I feel like when you're playing someone that you're not role playing, hence The Last of Us, Days Gone, any of those games where the character is not supposed to be you, I feel first person is a good perspective in that form. But at the same time, I'd rather see my character. I'd rather see my armor if I'm playing a game like that, because when you have cool armor on in Skyrim, if you're in first person, you can't see it. So I always prefer to see my character, see my armor, see my outfit, see my gear. It just feels better. But I feel that games where you're playing as someone else, third person is a better fit for me personally. But it's all just perspective. You know what I mean? Some people just like first person more than third person, and some people like third person more than first person. It's subjective as hell. So, but I would tell you, I'd put it this way. There's a lot more people that can't play first person than can. A lot of people get motion sick, and they can't deal with first person. So I would say third person is a more widely acceptable camera angle, and it kind of opens the door up for multiple people, compared to first person, which just says, yeah, you can't play these games, fuck you. You know what I mean? Everybody can play third person. There's a limitation on who can play first person. You know what I mean? Chris with the super chat. GTA 5 is getting 2 new DLCs this week called Cops and Crooks Online. It's been a while since we've looked at GTA. Looking forward to the changes of zombie spawns and how they handle it. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how the spawn systems work in State of Decay 2. Now, I know they pointed out that they aren't super thrilled with how the spawn system works, hence the reason why they try to change it towards the end of State of Decay 2's last update. I think it was at the end of the, or was that the end of the one before? Because there was, no, I think it was this last, was it the end of this last PTR run, or was it the end of the previous PTR run? I don't remember, but it was towards the end of one of the PTR things. They kind of like threw it in there. They were like, oh yeah, by the way, we're also changing up the spawn system. I think it was this one though, because they also just added, what the hell? They just added a few more features into this new one. I don't remember. What was it, chat? Yeah, I'm missing all types of shit. Oster with the super chat. Will I be playing Horizon anytime soon? Not at the moment, Oster. I still have that playthrough going. I started recording some stuff for it, but we haven't had any time to really dig into it. I've played Body Cam Tosh. Yeah, we played it on the channel. Holy shit, Gearless with the huge super chat, man. It's so good to see you, brother. Now we need an end date or a demo of gameplay. We just gotta be patient, Gearless, and you know, we'll probably see some stuff, dude. But seriously, bro, that is absolutely ridiculously huge, man. Holy crap. But one of the things that let me scan chat here real quick. I like games that let you change between first and third. Patrick, we talked about that before. The only issue with games that allow you to transfer from between first and third is it's like both of the perspectives are not that great. Like, it's kind of like if you can do first person and first person, it's kind of meh. You know what I mean? Like the animations in third person are generally wicked stiff. They don't look that great because, and then when you have a game that's solely third person, they don't have to worry about what it's going to look like in first person. So that's why if you see a lot of those games like Fallout, Skyrim, a lot of the attack animations are very stiff. They're not very fluid. The animations aren't fluid because they can't be. Because if you're doing spin attacks and all these wicked looking, awesome fluid motions in first person, you're not going to be able to keep up with it. It's going to be like, oh, what the fuck am I looking at? So I feel like games that allow you to do both, they're both meh. You know what I mean? Compared to if a game fully hones in on first person, it looks phenomenal. or a game that fully hones in on third person, it looks phenomenal. But when you try to mix both of them, you're going to get a watered down version of both of them. I watched the showcase. Yes, yes. SOD3 should let you go. Mr. Bagel, yeah, I mean, like ADS, Ghost Recon does that. Wildlands has that feature where when you ADS down a scope, it'll go first person. But it's one of those things. State of Decay, I mean, who knows? They could add something like that. But no, and I could see where people could maybe like want like ADS down like a long scope. Because if you're trying to take really, really far shots, you know, ADS and down a long scope's pretty important. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how they approach the scopes and shit like that. The only game I feel that does first and third very well is Elder Scrolls Online and Flash. I've never even played that one. Tim, holy shit, brother, with the 10 gifted memberships. Well, everybody's received a membership. Welcome to the fam. Tim, how you doing today, man? It's good to see you, brother. So Patrick says Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, when I say third person camera angles, it doesn't work well in games that rely heavily on melee. Or first person when both games switch. So if you look at games like Red Dead Redemption 2, which you can go first person and third person, it's all shooting. So when you melee in Red Dead Redemption 2, it's not that great. You know what I mean? It's very limited. Most of the stuff you're doing in that game is shooting. So the melee combat mechanics outside of first person or third person don't need to look all that great because they're very limited in scope anyways. And at the same time, we're also talking about Rockstar. Like Rockstar's, they have their own everything, you know what I mean? So it's quite a bit different when you're talking Rockstar. But yeah, if you look at how that game's designed, it's very, very designed on shooting. King Spade, thank you for the super chat. You think State of Decay will focus more on Red Talon? I'm not quite sure. From this trailer, we don't really see any remnants of Red Talon or the network. And due to the fact that so much time has passed from the looks of the environment, it will be interesting to see, like, where is Red Talon? I don't know if the game will focus on them, though. I don't see that. I don't know if the game will focus on the network. You know, are these network survivors? I don't know. It could be it could be its own thing. It could piggyback off those. It's just one of those things we'll kind of have to wait and see. Gearless A, enjoy your time at work, brother. Again, I appreciate you so much for coming in and showing so much to you. That's absolutely it's so generous, dude. But no, yeah, that is a good question. What is going to be the previous game's lore, characters, you know, things that we've like, how are they going to weave that into this game? You know what I mean? Are we even in the same? Are we going to even be in the same region? You know, like, where are we when it comes to like Trumbull Valley, or, you know, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how all of that previous game lore plays into this. Now, as we can see, there is a lot of continuity in the world. Just the screenshot that I'm on right here, you guys can see, like you're seeing things from the previous games, like the vehicles, the brands, and stuff like that. So obviously we're in the same universe, we're in the same world, but to actually see where these characters and, you know, this many years down the road, because we don't even know. We could guesstimate anywhere from like 3 to 10, 15 years in the future. We have no clue how much time has passed. Who's to say the network's even still around? You know what I mean? After that could have been collapsed. The Red Talon, that could have been collapsed. Especially with the way the world looks and the way people have adopted a very maker approach to things. It definitely seems like a lot of the societal stuff that was standing in the early days of the apocalypse is probably broken down for the most part, or they could have expanded but it'll definitely be interesting to see where everything kind of lands. Apparently there's going to be a new mutation for freaks. Yeah, we definitely seen the new glow on the freaks, especially the screamers. So it'll definitely be interesting to see, how the freaks have changed over time. It's going to be nice. And so far, the juggernauts look menacing as hell. The screamers look awesome. And the only thing we didn't see in this, chat, we didn't see any ferals. That's probably a lot of people happy about that. Maybe they removed the ferals from the game. No, never. Patrick, thank you for the super chat, dude. And tell the devs we want to see a boot gang billboard in the game. Macho with the super chat asks, okay, but will we get a Brian Menard survivor in the game? I mean, why would you want me in the game? So you could kill me off? I see how it is, Macho. I got you, dude. Noted. And Dragon Riddle, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate it. Everybody who received the membership, welcome to the fam. Tim with the super chat, gotta head back to work. Just wanted to pop in, show the support for you in the chat. Hope to catch you later. Brother, for sure, man. You have a great rest of your day, all right? Hopefully we'll catch you later on tonight. Zeno with the 1 year. Cheers for whoever donated the memberships, by the way. Also, Cyberpunk was CDPR's first FPS. Oh, yeah, because, yeah, it really was. They only ever did The Witcher. Yeah, true. Yeah, Farrell's in the next trailer. I get, man, it's going to be terrible. I mean, I don't personally mind Farrell's, but it's going to be interesting to see if because the one question I had looking at this trailer is you only see the one freak type. Now, as you guys know, when State of Decay 2 first initially released, there was your freaks. And then over time, they added the plague freaks from Heartland. And I'm pretty positive when they first initially did State of Decay, they had no plans for the plague freaks. So then what ended up happening is we ended up in this weird situation to where we had normal freaks and plague freaks. And now it's like, are there still going to be normal freaks and plague freaks? I don't know. Or are they kind of now that they have the system, they have an idea of blood plague and how they want, is everything kind of meld into one lane? You know what I mean? And now ferals are just going to be ferals. You know, is blood plague going to become the new standard for freaks? You know what I mean? So that's just something we're going to kind of have to wait and see how they're going to approach it. Is it going to be like normal freaks and then plague freaks still, or is it going to be everything kind of falls into that one line and we're going to have to, and then we just have like freaks and that's it. So King Spade says, well, hold on. Yeah. King Spade with the super chat says, hopefully we'll still see wildlife in State of Decay 3. Now, that is another big contention point that we're seeing right now across the community is the two big differences between the two trailers. Now, we already know from the devs themselves, after State of Decay 3's initial trailer came out, there was a lot of... The devs didn't seem too happy about it. Kind of seemed like it was a little rushed, that they really didn't have much say in it, and they were kind of like trying to figure things out. And the first trailer for State of Decay 3 compared to this trailer, they are two completely different like vibes, I guess you could say. Now, that could be due to the fact that the first trailer just takes place in a different environment. You know what I mean? But when I look at the two trailers, that trailer compared to this trailer feels like State of Decay. That trailer felt like something else completely. You know what I mean? And there was elements from the first trailer that I really, really enjoyed. You know, we had the things like the campsite and things like that. But when it came to the big elephant in the room, so that was cool.
I missed you.
I missed you. But when the first trailer came out, it was a very long time ago, and it was very early, and the devs kept telling us like it's very, very early in their development. Like they were still like pre-planning, you know what I mean? Like they were very, very early in development. And there's been, as you guys know, I think the guy that was in charge back then is not even there anymore. There was a lot of people who there was a whole situation that's happened obviously in the lab since then. So we don't know, we don't know what's going to carry over from one trailer to the next. And I feel like people are really like holding on to that first trailer so tight. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like where's things could change, guys. We don't know. And that's one of the reasons why, as a developer, that's why they seem to be getting more cagey as the years go on, because it's like if a developer puts something in the trailer, not saying that, things are going to be different, but like, let's just use the snow, for example. If they put snow area in the game and then they're like, you know what? We don't want to do that anymore. We're going to do this instead. Because they put that in the trailer, boom, that's it. It's like putting handcuffs on, like you're stuck. You're committed to that decision. So then people are like, well, why are they so cagey? Why aren't they showing us more stuff? It's because if they show you something and then they want to change their minds or do things a little different, they can't, because now they're going to get burned and bashed into oblivion. Well, you said that you showed us that we were going to get this, and now we're not getting it, and then people are going to flip out. You know what I mean? So if I was a game developer, I'm not showing you guys shit until I know for a fact that it's going to be in my game and it's exactly how I want it to be. You're not going to see anything. You know what I mean? So because players can't accept the idea that sometimes things change, mindset, it creates this really toxic environment for game devs to where they are going to be cagey with details, because God forbid something changes. You know what I mean? It's just and I see what you're saying there, Macho. That's not how that works, dude. Because you would say, oh, well, all it takes is communicating it with the community. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Some people would understand. A lot of people would understand. But come on, dude. We both see this. We know the world we live in. We see these people and the stuff they could. Come on, dude. The second they say, hey, we're no longer doing this, refund, fuck you, not playing this game, bullshit. You guys are the worst fucking dev team in the fucking planet. Blah blah blah. Like that's how that's gonna go, dude. That's how it's gonna. It's not even the mind. It's not even the mind. It's the majority nowadays, Macho. That's the sad part, dude. Is I feel like the minority nowadays are the people who understand. The majority of people nowadays seem to have adopted a very toxic mindset toward game development, and that's just the sad truth, dude. That's just the sad truth to how things are nowadays. Everything's so negative. so negative. Like, people feed off the negativity. You know what I mean? I feel like, honestly, I feel like they look forward to games being shit nowadays. Like that's kind of how they come across, man. It's just, I feel like the State of Decay community is a more understanding community, but we do still have, like, even with this trailer, like, go look through the comments, guys. Go scroll through the comments and you'll just see so much negativity, so much confusion, people not really, like, even so much impatience and stuff like that. Like, and that's why I kind of was trying to address a lot of these things so early on, because it's just the community is different. Things are changing. People's outlooks and the way they perceive game development is so much different. And people just, there is no room for error anymore when it comes to like game development. I'm not even talking Twitter, Macho. Right now, click on this video right here, dude. Click on this video right here, State of Decay 2 on YouTube, and scroll through the comments. They have almost 2,000 comments. Almost 2,000 comments. And you will see exactly what I'm talking about right here. There's a lot of positivity. But at the same time, there's tons of negativity, and the things that people are negative about, right here: no bikes, no weather, no animal, no money. What? Like what? And that's how it is. No bike, no weather, no animal, no money. Boom. It's like, fuck this game. I didn't see any bikes. I didn't see any weather. I didn't see any animals. Fuck this game. But the comments are the comments, dude. That's it. You know what I mean? This is the community. You know what I mean? This is what people are out here saying. This is what people are out here reading. But like I said, the one positive thing is there is a lot of positivity. And I did address some of the things, but yeah, there is a lot of weird negativity, man. Like, now I'm looking for one of you guys in chat right now, right here in these comments, so I could call your ass out right now. You ready? People are like, yo, let me go delete that comment real quick, dude. Like somebody right here, like, says, like, no release date or window. This trailer is so because the trailer didn't have a release date or window, that automatically makes the whole trailer trash. Like, what? You know what I mean? So it's weird. But nah, like I said, it's please don't suck. I haven't looked at they got a lot more comments since I last came through here. I think they only had like 1,000 comments. They got almost double the amount of comments. But like I said, it's definitely fostered a weird environment for game developers, and I'm happy with the approach that I've seen so far in this. And we've talked about this before. Everything I personally wanted in State of Decay 3, a lot of the things I seen here in this trailer alone. You know what I mean? Just like the scene, the theme. You guys know I was like, man, I hope State of Decay 3 is a bit further into the apocalypse. Things feel more Last of Us, not in the tone of the game, in the environment. Like the environment, I wanted it to feel more Last of Us, progressed, things like that. And it's that, you know, I wanted the game to rely more heavily on, you know, the crafting and things like that. And from what they're saying in this article, that's exactly what this is. So a lot of my boxes that I personally was looking forward to are checked here. Now, there are certain things that, like, we haven't seen animals. So we don't know, are there still going to be animals? Are there going to be zombie animals? Are there only going to be regular animals? Now, my personal take on that, like, did I think the zombie deer was cool? Fuck yeah, that thing was awesome. Was I confused as all hell, though? Being somebody who's played State of Decay 1 and 2, I'm sitting here like, wait, huh? So you're telling me we went from having no animals at all in the game to now all of a sudden having zombie animals, and not just zombie animals, zombie deer. You know what I mean? Like a zombie deer out of all things. So it was very, very out in left field initially. I was like, I was caught off by it, but it was a cool idea. So, but me personally, if they decided to scrap that whole idea, I really wouldn't care. You know what I mean? As long as we get new freaks, new things, whether it's an animal or not, I could care less. I would definitely want to see more freaks, new zombie types, new mutations. That needs to happen. I feel like it won't be State of Decay 3 if they don't have something new in there. So that's one of the things that I still haven't seen that I want to see. What's another thing? Animals in some capacity, whether like, are we going to have hunting? You know what I mean? Like, how are we going to get food? Because now that we can no longer really, by the looks of things and by things being so well picked over, how is that going to work? Like, how is food collection? Are we going to 100% have to rely on gardenings or is there going to be some kind of foraging system that's in play? Is there going to be any kind of hunting? You know what I mean? Whether that's small game or whatever. How are they going to set up that food gathering now? You know what I mean? Because the environment, the world has changed so much. Now we kind of have to start thinking, well, how are they going to compensate for that in systems? You know what I mean? So that's another thing, that I personally would love to see them add to the game, would be something like hunting or fishing, something like that would be absolutely amazing. Now, some people really aren't into those immersion activities. Hey, it is what it is. But I'm pretty sure even if that wasn't something, there's always something else. Like if you don't, in State of Decay 2, if you don't like farming, you could go loot. You know what I mean? Like there's always an alternative to something. But that was probably my second thing that, I didn't see in this trailer that I personally would like to see. Trying to think of something else that wasn't here that I wanted to see. Story elements, like how is the story going to be in this game? Obviously we can see that they're really doubling down on the emotional attachment to losing survivors. It's kind of like it kind of seems like from what they said in this article to what we've seen here is death. They want to be a big deal. Now we spoke about this multiple times, guys, on State of Decay 2. Is the State of Decay 2 morale system? I'm sorry, like no disrespect, is not that great. It's almost forgettable, the morale system, and it's going to be interesting and they know that. They've said it before, that the morale system was not that great. So that's another thing I want to see is if they're going to add this emotion to the game, this impact on like losing a survivor. Because I know if I lose a survivor that I'm really attached to, I personally feel something. And let me know if you guys agree with this. I personally feel something, but then in the game, I feel like it's not reflected. Like my own personal loss that I feel inside me is not reflected in the game. Yeah, you might get one of your survivors that will sit there and say like a little line like, oh, it's so sad that he's gone. But like, I'm sitting here like, God, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, I'm like, especially if it was somebody I was really, really like holding on to, it would be nice to see that same sentiment, that same feeling, shown in game 2. Be truly, truly amazing. And from what they're explaining, that's kind of what they're really trying to showcase here in this trailer too, is like, is there going to be ways for us to memorialize our survivors? You know what I mean? In State of Decay 2, we got the tombstones in the back. You look at this, they got like a whole, what are those things called? I think they have them in Hispanic tradition. They put the pictures. They're gorgeous, guys. I forgot the name of them. It's not a shrine. There's a word for it. I'm eating cold French fries because I didn't want to eat, guys. An ofrenda. Yeah, there it is. An ofrenda. That was the word I was thinking of. But yeah, it is kind of like you got like this shrine here to like the survivors. So it's like, you know, are we going to be able to have something like this in our base? You know what I mean? Where we can sit here and have. There was also like a little, you know what I mean? Like keepsakes from our survivors that we'll be able to like remember them by. Like something like that would be super, super awesome. You know what I mean? And because I do feel like the death of your survivors in State of Decay 2 was kind of downplayed. Very, very big. Very, very big. It was like, at first you would feel it, but it was like, oh yeah, I lost my cook. That sucks. I got to get a new one. But minus the tombstone behind your characters, it was, you know, it was kind of forgettable. But to have something like this where we could potentially go and showcase and like have, you know, little trinkets or something like that to remember our survivors by, that shit would be sweet. You know what I mean? To have that attachment to those characters and things like that, I would absolutely love it. So here we go. We got King Spade 22. Would be cool to see a vehicle crafting system. So, King, from what we've seen here and from what they said in this, it does sound like there is going to be some kind of system for vehicles, because they pointed out that the vehicle we've seen in the trailer was fully up, like decked out. And there was another quote that was implying that vehicles are going to be able to be changed or altered in some way, shape, or form. So I do feel like there's probably going to be some kind of vehicle. I don't know about crafting, but I don't know if maybe you can like upgrade your vehicle. Like if maybe they're going to take the upgrade system from State of Decay 2 and maybe build on top of that, flesh it out, make it more detailed and more personal. Or if it's going to be kind of like State of Decay 2, where you take a base vehicle and then you kind of upgrade it, or if just all the vehicles are upgraded. I don't know. There's so many different ways they could go with it. But Blacktracks with the super chat. I feel like every freak will have its own weather specific variant, like when it's raining, snowing. That'd be weird, man. That'd definitely be interesting, but that'd be a lot, dude. Hold on one sec, guys. Hold on. Outposts, how are they gonna? I don't know, Paul. I don't know, man. They didn't show anything about outposts. They didn't talk about outposts either. But we do know that the outpost system in State of Decay 2, they were not happy with it, and they did make changes to it. So, if anything, I would hope and think that the outpost system in State of Decay 3 would be better than State of Decay 2 for sure. But we'll just have to wait and see what they come up with, man. Hey, Undead Comrade with the 20 months, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. Rest in peace, Bob. Benny Comic Storian, Benny Potter. I don't know who that is, Lorenzo. I think the Dino keychain might mean that survivors have a unique item that they hold that have some. Yo, could you imagine that, Lord? Like, yeah, every survivor comes with their own little unique trinket or something like that, like tied to them. Maybe it has a story or something. And yeah, like when they die, you can like take said thing off of them. Like, as you guys know, my wall would be full just due to plague heart fodder alone. Yes, Dreams. The multiplayer is going to be epic, guys. Epic. Well, Asa, I appreciate the resubscribe and welcome back. I know you seen Hippo Thomas up there. I seen Hippo Thomas. Where was he? Right there. We got Hippo Thomas. Danforth map. Swine bovine hat. Yeah, I seen Hippo Thomas up on there. Look at that scenery, chat. It's going to be interesting because obviously this is the one thing that State of Decay really has never had is the woods. And I know a lot of people are, oh, I want a city, I want a city, I want a city map, I want a city map, I want a city map. The one thing we have never seen in State of Decay done well is like forest. Like, could you imagine walking around the fucking woods in the middle of the night being stalked by a feral? Could you imagine that, chap? I'm good. So so they've tried, but the forest areas are always very sparse. There's not a whole lot of trees. It doesn't feel like a forest. It kind of just felt like an open area with trees. So it's definitely going to be exciting to see how the woods feel. And how they build on it, because like the woods are hard to do in my opinion, or do well, because in games generally there's not a whole lot going on in the woods, so it could just be very boring. You know what I mean? Like walking from place to place, or you know what I mean. But I feel like with areas like this, say there's like campsites or something up, and these look so thick, man. It'd be hard to drive a car into these areas. Like legit. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how they pull it off, man. Because woods done well can be quite awesome. Exactly, Nate. Like Red Dead Redemption's woods, they do, man. When you're in the woods, it feels so like you can kind of hear nature around you, and you feel like you're in the woods, you know what I mean? And then kind of sprinkle some zombie freaks and some ferals in there, dude, and there's nightmare fuel, bro. There's nightmare fuel. My predictions on a release date, Andrew, I honestly, I couldn't even give an honest prediction, man. Because I don't know where they are exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not them. So I don't know like what they're, they have a standard in their head that they want this game to be up to. You know what I mean? So for somebody to try to predict where that standard is, if I don't want to reach this until I'm at 100. You know what I mean? I don't know what their 100 is. You know what I mean? I don't know where their mindset is, where they want the game to be before they release it. You know what I mean? Because that's a risk on them. You know, that's something that they have, that only they could answer. This is their company. This is, you got to remember, like, to us, this is a game. You know what I mean? And I feel like people forget this. To us, this is a game. This is an experience. You know what I mean? To them, this is their life. This is what pays their bills. You know what I mean? If they fuck this up and it's not done well enough and people shit on it and they lose everything and the studio gets shut down because Microsoft's like, you're not putting out, nobody's buying your game, goodbye. You know what I mean? Then to us, we just move on to another game. You know what I mean? We just, so much for that. We just move on to another game. These are people that we're talking about. This is their lives. You know what I mean? This is their, so I am a 100% firm believer in let them take their fucking time. When the game is ready, they will release it, guys. You know what I mean? Let them cook, let them take their time, get the game up to the standard they want it at, and then they'll release it. Okay? Because at the end of the day, if State of Decay 3 fails, you're just going to go play another game. And now they're going to be trying to figure out, how the fuck do I feed my family? How do I take care of my kids? How am I going to pay my mortgage? You know what I mean? So relax, guys. Relax. All right? That's my outlook on the release date. When it's ready, it's ready. State of Decay in the chat. What is going on? How you guys doing today? So, no, this has been awesome, guys. I've really, really enjoyed this. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And we just, and Jimmy says, and if we just saw, if a game's not doing well, might from getting Microsoft, yeah, right. No, it's been really, really great breaking this down. I said it when I was there, and I'll say it again now. You guys have done an amazing job. I love the direction that, you know, the game that we're picking up from this trailer. And like I've said to everybody, my personal boxes that I have that I wanted this game to meet, the things I was looking forward to, the things I was excited about for State of Decay as a franchise, the progression of the game, the story, the world, every single box has been checked. And like I said, I have those couple things that I have, you know, questions. Are we going to see new freaks? Are we going to see animals or, you know, immersion activities like hunting and fishing? Obviously, we have those questions. Are those going to be things that we're going to see when the game comes out? And we'll go from there. And then another thing, guys, that we have to take into consideration too is State of Decay. And you guys know the devs have built up that trust that we were talking about earlier. We've definitely... I personally trust them. I know a lot of you guys trust them and their decisions and directions that they're going to go with the game. And we look at State of Decay 2, which was a very unique situation where the game initially came out. The game was a certain way when it came out, and then they kept adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. And it kind of grew over time. You know what I mean? And it got better and better and better and better. And me personally, I would like to see something like that with State of Decay 3 also. Wouldn't you guys? I mean, obviously I want the game to be awesome when it drops, but I want this to be something that grows just like State of Decay 2 did. You know, the game comes out, boom. And then they build on it and build on it. And they take fucking, they take advice or player feedback from us. And then they go ahead and, you know, they keep building on it and building on the simulation and making it better and making it bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what I want to see. A 10-year roadmap like Destiny? Destiny had a 10-year roadmap? That's absolutely insane. How long has Destiny? I mean, Destiny 2 has been out for a really, really long time. Apple Cider, I'm not doing that on this video. I already said earlier we'll be breaking down all those other things, and we'll be going from there. I'll be checking out all those other trailers in another stream. I don't know if I'll be doing it today. I might be doing it tomorrow because there's a lot of stuff to go over because I'm going to be watching the whole Xbox showcase and then the Ubisoft Forward event. So I'll probably save that for tomorrow because I want to get some gameplay done today. A roadmap would be nice. So yeah, a Coconut Kid. Is this the Coconut Kid? What's up, dude? How you doing, man? A roadmap would definitely be awesome. And the only issue I see with roadmaps personally, coming from like looking at it from like a possible developer point of view, is a roadmap is kind of a commitment. And as we look at this, you know, and like I was kind of saying earlier, if they're like, you know, this is our, say, 3-year roadmap. We want to do this. You know what I mean? And like I said, people will photographic memory that roadmap and they will hold you to that roadmap, dude. You know what I mean? And the second they, oh, well, sorry guys, you know, we did have this plan for Q4, but it's actually going to get pushed to like Q2 and we're going to do this instead. fucking the pitchforks come out, you know, everybody's sitting there, blah, you know what I mean? So it's hard to commit to a roadmap just due to the fact that people cannot forgive you for some reason for having to change something. You know what I mean? So I feel like having like an internal roadmap is okay. But yeah, once you go public with a roadmap, I don't think I've ever seen a public roadmap go good. I feel like it's always people just bust out the pitchforks, dude. But John, so people say that, dude, but people say the problem has always been communication. But the problem is they will communicate it and people are still pissed. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. Oh, well, like if you can't, like for instance, say they can't do a zombie fucking deer, right? Because I know that's what a lot of people are talking about. Say they just can't make that happen. The thing is if they communicate that, whether they communicate it or not, people are pissed regardless. That's it. Because they said they were going to do it. They could, hey guys, listen, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. This came up, we changed, we want to do this instead. It doesn't matter whether they communicate or not. People are still going to fucking lose their mind and pull the pitchforks out and bitch about it, dude. It's just whether they respond or, you know what I mean? So the communication isn't the problem because some of the devs will communicate and they still get their damn heads cut off. You know what I mean? So yeah, not the damn zombie deer, dude. But that's the so like you just said, John, but you set expectations, take the heat. So the way I look at that is I'm not going to tell you shit. If that's how it's going to be, I'm not telling you anything. Because if you're going to look at it to where, oh, well, you set the expectation, now you got to back it up. Okay. I'm just not telling you shit then. Stand by. Because that's how I'm going to look at that. Because it's not going to be one-sided. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm making this for you, but this ain't one-sided, dude. You know, you know, so you're like, oh, well, you set the expectation. I bet I will set the expectation and you ain't going to hear shit. That's how I look at that. So you create this, it ends up creating this really hostile communication network between developer and gamer. And it used to not be like this. Devs used to be able to come out and talk about shit and tell us how things, and gamers were more understanding back in the day, but it's just like the past like 5 years, man, I don't know what the hell has gone wrong, dude. It's absolutely crazy. Like Sinister said, developers set the expectations and then audiences set their own expectations. And when unless we're talking about Starfield and Todd Howard or 76. Oh, I seen so guys, yeah, don't take. I seen the Xbox showcase. I watched it with at the lab with those guys, and it was awesome. So I've seen all of the games. Doom looked fire. Perfect Dark looked fire. There was a couple games there that I was very, very excited about, especially Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark, I don't know why that game absolutely just came out of nowhere, and I'm so excited for it. But yeah, guys, like I said, just be patient, be understanding. And like I said, we know how this works. You know what I mean? We've been in the State of Decay community for a really, really long time. And look at it like this. Even if State of Decay, let's just go to worst case scenario. Let's just say State of Decay 3 comes out. Okay. And not every single thing that we wanted in the game is there on release. Because the community and this community wants so many things, and the game is so like we all know how the systems are in State of Decay. It's like we know with this dev team, they will make it happen. As long as it's within the realm of possibility, they're gonna make it happen. Look at State of Decay 2 when it first came out. Mistakes, sometimes people make mistakes during development, and not everything's gonna be perfect. Not every system, you know, it's easy to sit there and make a system, play test a system, you know, within a small enclosed environment, and then you release it to the world, and then millions of people start playing the system, and then you sit back and you're kind of like, you know, now in the kind of the grand scale of millions of people doing this, maybe it doesn't even come across as how they want it to work out, and they're like, you know what, we're going to change that. You know what I mean? And boom, they'll fucking change it. They'll fix it. Like, games have been doing this forever. So it's just one of those things. It just takes patience, understanding. And I know, like, with this community, you guys understand. A lot of you guys understand. And we just got to chill. We just got to chill, man. John, hey, thank you so much for the membership, brother. Welcome to the fam, dude. And I feel like that's what people, a lot of people forget. You know what I mean? It's it's almost like it's not okay to make mistakes anymore. You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, you fuck something up, you just fix it. You know what I mean? But it's like, people don't even give you a chance anymore to fix things. You make a mistake and then people just bury you for it. It's like, instead of smacking you and be like, hey, fix that shit, it's just like, you know what? Let's just shoot him and bury him. Do you think it will be end of 2025? I have no clue. Like I said, I'm not them. Only they would be able to answer that question. You know what I mean? And I feel like, just understand, guys, as they keep going, we're gonna hear something. You know what I mean? You're gonna know when the game's gonna come out. But trying to predict things off of, you know, a game trailer, it's impossible. We don't know. You know what I mean? So this stream, we're going to be doing some gameplay streams here in a little bit. Yeah, we're going to be playing. I think I was thinking about doing some Mass Effect today and something else. I don't know exactly. Not only the amount of people, but the fact that the minute a game comes out and they try to break the game, they try to make it easier and then blame the devs. Yeah, everybody tries to exploit and everything. And yeah, of course, dude. Usually they don't show a trailer unless they're within 18 months of release, usually. So that makes Gears a December 2025. And I mean, like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of, like, you know, like timing and stuff like that. Now, I do feel like everybody knows that it's been so long since we've heard from State of Decay that it's this year, it just made sense. Like, we had to hear something, you know what I mean? And we did, you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to just see. Like I said, it's going to be interesting, and I'm so excited to see what we're going to hear next, you know, where they're going to go from here, because like I said, this is just the start. You know what I mean? To me, this is the start. Like, we're starting to lock down. We're getting in a State of Decay 3 mode, and now it's like, put your seatbelts on, guys, and let's sit back and just kind of enjoy the feed. You know what I mean? Because they're going to start feeding us more information as time goes on. We're going to start hearing more stuff. So it's like, this is the beginning of it. You know what I mean? It's like, I understand you guys want it all at once. Like, give it all to me, you know, but when they're ready, they will give it to us. So just sit back, relate. I'll accept my drip feed. I'll accept my drip feed of good information, and let's do it. You know what I mean? Well, I've already watched the Xbox showcase and I've already seen the Ubisoft stuff, but I haven't played video games in like 5 days. So that other stuff I'm kind of putting on hold because I want to get some gaming in. How difficult was it to keep your trip secret? It was super hard, guys. You guys were pressuring the shit out of me, man, because I don't never take a day off. So all of a sudden, on a weekend of one of the biggest showcases for me personally for the year on this channel, I was surprised more of you guys weren't super suspicious. Yeah, I thought a lot more of you guys would be suspicious, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I never take time off and I made it seem pretty decent. You guys didn't really question it. What did I think of the AC Shadows gameplay? I personally really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really liked it. I haven't watched the one from Ubisoft Forward. The only gameplay I've seen so far was the one that they showcased on the Xbox showcase, but I enjoyed it. No, yeah, I think Shadows is going to be fire. Where did I go? I was in Seattle this weekend, hanging out with Undead Labs. Yep, they spoiled me and bought me dinner and all that stuff. Yeah, it was nice, guys. No, yeah, because the wife messaged me and was like, people know you're in Seattle. I'm like, how do they know this? I thought you guys were out there freaking trying to find me. Yeah, I was like, dude, I felt like I was being hunted down. Any thoughts on Black Ops 6? I mean, I guess I'll be getting more into this, guys, because I am going to break down the. I know a lot of you guys are probably interested in my take on a lot of the showcase. We will be doing probably a showcase stream tomorrow. We're just going to knock it all out. We'll go over the Xbox showcase and the Ubisoft stuff. So the Ubisoft Forward, I haven't seen at all, so I'm going to save that for tomorrow, and it'll kind of be like my first glance at it. And we'll be experiencing that tomorrow, and I'll kind of talk on it. But just a little caveat. Yeah, I did think Black Ops looks really, really cool. I don't know if they took that comment about the campaign on the Modern Warfare 3 being too short personal, but it looked like that campaign for Black Ops looked epic as hell. What print did I end up getting? I got the coolest one because I left first. I got that one. Oh yeah, look at that, chat. Look at that print right there, autographed. Yeah, I definitely grabbed one of the coolest ones. You could be jealous, Coconut Kid. You could be a little jealous, dude. That's okay. I understand. No, they really hooked it up. Yeah, they hooked it up. The Oh yeah. Coconut Kid, I got this one. I got this one. The best one, dude. I got the best one. Yeah. It's freaking gorgeous, man. But again, I want to tell you guys, if you haven't, make sure you go over to Undead Labs channel. All right. Drop a comment just for me, guys, thanking them for having me over there, because guys, you really don't understand. It was a dream come true. As you guys know, when I first started my YouTube channel, that was like one of my like goals, was to, visit them one day, kind of, get myself big enough and known well enough that I could have that opportunity to go and just like meet them in real life. And that was what this weekend was, guys. It was like my lifelong goal when I started doing YouTube as a State of Decay creator. I wanted to be the biggest YouTuber. Like my goal was to be the biggest State of Decay YouTuber on the platform. I wanted to have my own gun in the game like the other guys. I wanted to have all that stuff. That was like my goal. And this weekend was like, I accomplished that. I made it to that point, and it felt, it felt super, super rewarding. I can't tell you how much I appreciate them for doing that for me and allowing me to go there. It was awesome. It was really, really, really awesome. And, as I sit here and I just kind of look back on all the years and like what we've been through and what it took to get to this point, and, to finally be like afforded that opportunity was just, it was awesome, guys. It really was. So I appreciate them, and I really am looking forward to, you know, maintaining that relationship, and, you know, State of Decay 3, and we're, you know, you already know, guys, we're going to be kicking ass with State of Decay 3, and it's going to be the same thing, you know. Hopefully I can get good enough at the game to put out some guides for you, right? Oh, no, Coconut Kid, dude, it was awesome, dude. It was awesome meeting you too, man. Seriously, I had a great time. There were some good guys there. There were some really, really good guys there. It'd be cool if they made me a character in the game. Why you guys keep saying that? But I think you guys just want me to be a character in the game so you could kill me. Does State of Decay 3 have the potential to be the best game ever? Well, the best game ever is it's all about, like, it's very subjective. Now, do I think the State of Decay has the potential to be the best zombie survival simulation ever? Yes. Easily. There's not very many games first of all, State of Decay is unique. There's really no other games that even compete with it realistically. So let's be honest. Like, State of Decay is already the best at what it does. It is hands down the best at what it does. But when you look at it in a whole, it's very subjective, guys. It is very, very subjective, because if you don't like zombie games, you're not going to like State of Decay. Do you know what I mean? So it all kind of just depends. Now, for me personally, do I think, like, State of Decay 3, whatever year it comes out, will be my game of the year? Probably. You know what I mean? I don't see anything else that could even come close. But because it's my game of the year doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be everybody else's, because it's very subjective. And I feel like this zombie survival genre in gaming is niche as it is. So it's not, it's mainstream, but it's not, you know what I mean? But do I think this game could easily grow to be bigger and better than Dying Light? And like those, like, you know, or not even bigger or better, because, like I said, they all hold a different place. But do I think State of Decay could be a juggernaut in the zombie survival genre? You know, like, along with the lines of, like, Dying Light and The Last of Us, you know, State of Decay. Yeah, easily. I feel like State of Decay 3 will be their crown jewel that kind of puts them up there in that juggernaut status with those games. So when people think zombie survival genre, I mean, for me personally, State of Decay is already up there, but you know, the ones that really stand out to people are, like, you know, The Last of Us, Dying Light. Those are like Dead Island. You know what I mean? Like, those are like those kind of heavy hitters. And I do feel like State of Decay 3 will probably be their way to kind of secure that elite in that genre, for sure. But at the same time, they're very different games. So you can't necessarily, like, yes, they're all the same genre, but they're different games. Like, you can't compare The Last of Us and State of Decay. They're just different. You know, one's a very linear story narrative based game, and one is almost a survival simulator. You know what I mean? You can't compare the two games. They're just different. But I do feel like State of Decay will definitely hold its spot in one of the elites in the genre, for sure. Lucid says, lethal mode seems impossible. Lethal gets easier, dude. The more and more you play it, the easier and easier it gets. I always tell people the best way to practice and get ready for Lethal Zone is to just play Lethal Zone. The more you drag it out and you kind of like, oh, well, I'm going to warm up with Dread, then I'm going to warm up with Nightmare, and then I'll, like, no, dude. Dread and Nightmare will not get you ready for Lethal. Obviously, like, understanding the game and its mechanics, but, like, playing in Nightmare Zone is not going to train you for Lethal Zone. The only way to get better at Lethal Zone is to play Lethal Zone. It is what it is. When will I play Arkham Knight DLC? So Horizon Forbidden West DLC is a definite. When it comes to, like, Arkham Knight, I don't know. I don't even know if anybody's gonna watch it like that. But if anything, I already got it ready. I could record it. I got some Arkham stuff recorded, but am I gonna play the center? Oh, for Arc? I don't know. We'll see. I've done 2 Arc series in the past 6 months, 8 months, and both of them kind of fall flat in their face. So we'll kind of see. GTA 6 will definitely be game of the year for 2025. Probably. I mean, but was GTA 5 game of the year? Or did it come out too late? Will State of Decay come to PlayStation 4 or 5? I don't believe so. So, guys, it's an Xbox exclusive. So, PC and Xbox. GTA 5 did win a game of the year. Yeah, it's probably going to win. Then GTA 6 is probably definitely going to win GTA or game of the year. But all right, guys. Hold on. King Spade with the super chat. GTA 6. Yeah, it probably will be for sure. But we're gonna end this here. I really had a good time. I know we've been going on for a while, and I decided I want to take some time and chit chat with you guys about this trailer because obviously I wasn't here for when it was released, and obviously there's a lot of stuff that we obviously can't talk about, but there is so much here in this trailer that I feel like kind of people overlook a little bit at first glance. So I'm hoping that I was maybe able to show you a side of the trailer you didn't initially see. Let me know if I might, but I know some people are like, nah, dude, this, I want more. But no, I get it. I was hoping maybe I could show you another side of the trailer that maybe you didn't see, but there is a lot of little things in here for you to kind of pick out. Obviously, we want more. But as a start, this is definitely a good start. I am really, really looking forward to, everything that is to come in the future. And I hope you guys are too. And yeah, again, I really appreciate the love and support. I will be doing another stream here. I think the wifey's live, so we're going to probably stream over to her. And I might pop out there. So if any of you guys are in her chat, I'll probably pop out there and eat my food and kind of bullshit with you guys out there too. And then I will be coming back. And will we be doing another live, maybe some Mass Effect? Is State of Decay 2 worth $10? Oh, yes, Zeth. 100%, dude. And it's on Game Pass, too. But yeah, 100% worth $10, man. You're going to get so much playtime out of it, brother. I got 7,000 hours in that, dude. Yeah, I got 7,000 hours in State of Decay 2. Easily going to get if that game's $10, man, definitely grab it. No, but thank you guys again. Thank you, everybody over at the lab. I appreciate you guys and everything you've done. And yeah, this has been awesome. It's been awesome. And I'm looking forward to this ride, guys. This is what we've been waiting for. We're here. But again, I'm going to go. I'll see you guys out there. Hopefully, we're going to raid over to the wifey. And again, like I said, I'll be eating my 2 McChickens that are ice cold. Goddamn. And my half a thing of French fries that is ice cold. But all right, if you guys have any questions, remember, drop a comment down below. I'll answer what I can answer. And yeah, we'll go from there. So again, you all have a great rest of your night if I don't see you in the next stream. And for everybody, tomorrow we will be doing more breakdowns for the other stuff. But I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.